So celebrities, they're just like us, even when it comes to getting pulled over. It happened to Gisele Bündchen, and it looks like she got a ticket, and she was pretty upset about it. There's a video that shows what appears to be a routine traffic stop with the supermodel pulled over by a cop in Florida. She hands him some papers. He goes back to his vehicle and then returns with her documents and a ticket, and that's when Gisele seems overwhelmed with emotion, wiping her eyes and covering her face as the officer talks to her. No! But apparently she's also aware that eyes are on her, and she turns her face away from passing cars and cameras. The reason she was pulled over is unclear, but whatever it was, she didn't really look happy about it.
Stop and think about that. All right, so she's driving along in an area where there are a lot of other people and celebrities. How committed are those paparazzi that she's under constant surveillance?
I was wondering,
right?
who took the video?
Yeah, but they got it.
Yeah, and this is in Florida. It's not in L.A. I mean, it wasn't like it was,
There you go, even more.
Yeah, so
who's there?
Yeah, so and it's like, what are you getting that upset about? Who knows though?
I mean, I've cried to try to get out of a ticket.
I'm sure you had, right?
I didn't get out of the ticket, but I got out of the more serious portion of the ticket.
And you were pretending? You were crying?
No, I mean, it was like, no, it was a rough day. So like when I got pulled over, I was like, of course. Yep, let's just add this to it. And listen, I was doing 90 miles an hour on the blue route, so I probably deserved to be pulled over. I was late. I was coming from Atlantic City. I was super hungover, and I needed to get to my sister-in-law's baby shower, and that's what happened.
Did I ever tell you about the time I tried to cry to get out of public intoxication in college? Dude, I was beside myself. I was intoxicated in the girls' dorm. Mind you, I wasn't the only one. I just got picked out of the lineup. But next thing you know, security comes and grabs me, and they take me to my room, and I'm crying, thinking that maybe it's going to help me get out of...
This guy is so pathetic. How can we do anything? Let you go. He's punished enough already.
So and this is early on in the semester. I just met my roommate. So
Right.
the security guard knocks on the door. My roommate's there, and I'm like, right. And the security guard's like, hey man, like he's really upset. Make sure he gets to bed okay. And as the security guard is talking to my roommate, I'm like, and then my roommate and I lock eyes, and I go,
Big wink.
and
Dude, saw
he
you?
just started busting out laughing, talking to you. Yeah, I mean, I really wasn't upset. I thought it was going to help. It didn't help, by the way.
There you go. Okay.
I think
Still
he
got written
ruined
up.
it.
Yeah.
Well, Gisele was a little upset. Maybe it was legit. I don't really know. I'm sure she can afford to pay for the
Yeah,
traffic.
my guess is, she's got it covered.
Irina Shayk is apparently single and ready to mingle following a romance with former NFL quarterback Tom Brady. Irina is apparently looking for a new man, but is running into a few problems.
Oh, no.
The source said she's shopping, but her dating pool is a tiny group of people.
That's by her own choice.
It says she needs famous, good-looking, and money.
Yeah.
How many of those are there? 5, 10?
I hate her.
I mean, come on.
The search for her next beau is an expansive one.
If she shows up so what? She goes from Tom Brady. Who's next? Curtis Armstrong?
And before Tom Brady was Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the dating pool.
This is my boyfriend. He played Booger.
The model is apparently looking for love across the USA as well as Europe, following her and Tom's time together seemingly fizzling out in October
I
last
hope
year.
she finds something.
Yeah, me too,
guys.
Kat. You must, if you are the third guy in that line, you must have a massive amount of confidence in yourself because you're following in the footsteps of Tom Brady and Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, and a massive hog.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, honestly. At least that, right?
I got this. So come on over.
God, come on, man.
I had heard that Tom
Fantasyland.
Brady was packing some massive.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is Nick Foles single?
No, he's married.
Oh, is
He
he?
just had a
Okay.
baby. Yeah.
Yeah, where'd you hear that?
I don't want to say who, but it was a former NFL player.
Really?
Yeah. That apparently.
I know who it was.
Oh man, I probably shouldn't say this because
Go ahead.
It was just like. Anyway,
Is this guy good at magic?
I think I know this story.
Yeah, he accidentally walked in on Tom making sweet, sweet love to another celebrity.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that. Okay.
And that I don't even know. Like,
Who was the other celebrity?
It was.
You know?
Yeah, I do.
Who?
But like, I
No,
shouldn't.
if he tells the story, it'll mark that this. We'll know who this person is. Who told
no,
you, right?
no. But
Oh.
also, I shouldn't say like. I mean, I just heard this from like a third person.
Well, they do it all the time in the news. A source said.
The source
Also,
said that
we do it every day.
he was
day.
banging Paris Hilton, is
Oh,
what it
oh,
was.
nice. Okay.
And that she couldn't, like, she was on top. And she
couldn't handle
She
it?
couldn't make it all the way down the pole, the fire pole, so to speak. There wasn't enough room.
Oh, come on.
Was this the story that Rodney McLeod told you the other day?
No. Don't say that.
I'm kidding.
It was not Rodney McLeod, but it was a former NFL player.
Okay.
Paris?
I don't believe that.
Yeah,
I don't believe
neither
that
do
for
I.
a second. If you accidentally walk in on someone, you have enough time to sit there and ascertain. By the way, she couldn't slide all the way down on that
You
thing.
like-
I sat there and watched for a good 10 minutes while she tried to work it really hard.
You get the hell out.
Hey, bro, can you leave? She's having a real difficult time slide down the girth of my junk. Yeah, no problem. I'll come back.
Yeah, but listen, when you're in the throes of that stuff, you don't necessarily know who's coming in, to the room or whatever. You might be able to.
I don't believe it. Sorry.
All right,
I'm
no,
not
that's
going
fine.
to believe it. So,
Tom Hanks? I'm looking for the bathroom.
all right. Anyhow, moving on. Another good-looking couple. Not really a couple, though. Glenn Powell has finally admitted that he and Sydney Sweeney may have leaned into those romance rumors last year while they were trying to get people interested in their rom-com, Anyone But You. Speaking with the New York Times, Powell shared 2 things that you have to sell a rom-com are fun and chemistry, he said.
He's right.
Sydney and I have a ton of fun together, and we have a ton of effortless chemistry. That's people wanting what's on the screen and off the screen, and sometimes you just have to kind of lean into it a bit, and it worked wonderfully. Sydney is very smart, he said. The internet was falling all over itself as rumors about Powell and Sweeney getting together got louder and louder, and the actor's girlfriend even unfollowed him unfollowed him at the time, which made some people think that the 2 actors really were cheating on their significant other. So they were playing
Massaging it.
Yeah.
But I, there's an attraction, as they freely admit there. They have that chemistry. The movie was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay.
The 2 later denied any affair rumors at all. I thought this was fun. Jennifer Garner, Mark Ruffalo, and Judy Greer reunited to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the movie 13.
I'd like to apologize to Jennifer Garner and her pool boy, Ben Affleck, for incorporating them into my fantasy life.
I didn't even
I
think of it.
apologize to anyone who's been offended by my fictional creations, Chrysagon, the philosopher of evil, and the
You didn't even
Skull
realize, right?
The 20th anniversary of 13 going on 30. The caption read, "We are 3 boomers braving Zoom because we want to thank you. To every person who has loved this movie along with us, thank you. We see you, we appreciate you, and we love you back. Forever 30, flirty, and thriving."
It's a fun movie.
I love it.
It's a sweet movie.
I think it's great. She's adorable. In
Yeah.
it. I just fell in love with Jennifer Garner and her pool boy, Ben Affleck,
Yes,
at
yeah.
the time.
I'd like to apologize.
I love Judy Greer.
I think
Oh,
she's awesome, too.
I think she's cute.
Yeah,
she is.
There's something, it's not ugly cute, but it's not hot cute.
I know what you mean.
It's just
cute,
real
cute.
world cute.
I guess so, yeah.
I'd
Not
like
Hollywood
to
cute.
apologize.
And she ends up naked in a few projects
She
from time to
does.
time.
Yeah.
Really?
Judy Greer, yeah. She's not afraid to take her top off.
I did not know this. So Garner said of the technological advances since the movie dropped, she said 20 years ago we were just on little. Did we had cell phones? She said. And Ruffalo, who played the Hulk, obviously says that he gets way more 13 going on 30 people. And he said there's 2 types of people in this world. There's Hulk people and there's 13 going on 30 people, and I get equal amounts. Or so maybe equal. The trio also mentioned Brie Larson. I did not know this. Brie Larson appeared as, quote, 6 chick number 3 in the movie.
Did not know that.
So she I guess she was younger than the rest of the crew, and she's in a little scene at some point.
So as the story goes, it's the story of an adult man making love to a 13-year-old.
No, it's not that.
okay.
No, it's not that at all. So when your significant other breaks up with you in 1 minute into your first coupled therapy session, most people would accept that it's over, but not Courtney Cox. The actress and fiance Johnny McDade from the band Snow Patrol were 3 years into their relationship when things looked irretrievable until they weren't. Cox says that it was at that point She knew that there was work to be done, and she said so. As opposed to going F him, getting in this mode of anger, I leaned in and I did the most work on myself by far. They eventually patched things up, and they've been together for 8 years.
So, yeah, he says he wants out, but she realized there were things that she was responsible for.
Yeah.
I'd like to apologize.
So she apologized and moved on, and it's been the winning combination.
There you go. A love for the ages.
So, when Zoolander 2 came out, Ben Stiller was apparently convinced it was going to be a hit, and when it flopped, he said it blindsided him. The first Zoolander came out in 2001. It became a cult hit. But when Zoolander 2 came out 15 years ago, it didn't translate into big box office numbers.
It was not a hit. I remember seeing it. I think it's good. It's nowhere near as good as the original Zoolander. But
I don't even remember it being a thing.
Benedict Cumberbatch is really, really good in it.
I didn't see it. I wasn't. I didn't want another one, so I didn't go see it.
So what they did is they focused in on his son, Zoolander's son, a bit, and they focused in on some other characters. And it just doesn't have the oomph of the original Zoolander. I think Zoolander, by its very nature, is a joke that can be told once.
I agree.
And so that was the problem.
Yeah. He said, I thought everybody wanted this. He was on David Duchovny's podcast and said, it's like, wow, I must have really messed this up. Everybody didn't go to it, and it's gotten these horrible reviews. But on the plus side, because Zoolander 2 flopped, Ben says that made him focus more on his other projects that had been on the back burner, like I said, Apple TV Plus show Severance. He said, I had this space to kind of sit with myself and have to deal with it in other projects that I had been working on, and I have the time to actually just work on and develop.
He's had, so the Cable Guy was one that they were sure was going to be a hit. It wasn't his first time to having a project that he thought was going to be massive just die.
Right.
I mean, you had Jim Carrey in that movie. And Jim Carrey at the height of his career, Cable Guy in it. It bombed.
You know what? I went back and watched not that long ago. We were just looking for a movie to watch, and Caroline hadn't seen it, so it was Meet the Parents.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be okay. It's a funny movie. I loved it when it first came out. I watched it, and I didn't find it that funny anymore. And maybe it was just me or whatever. And Casey, I liked it. I know you don't care for those, a good guy gets in a crappy
Anything
situation.
Anything that can go wrong will go wrong movie. Yeah.
But I liked it. I loved it, actually, when it first came out. And I went back and watched it. I was like, this isn't as funny as I thought it was.
Well, also, you know the jokes. Sometimes you can, but I mean, for the most part, it holds up for me.
It's a cute movie.
But the others in the series just stink. They're terrible.
All right, so speaking of Zoolander, what would it take to offer $12 million for a film role and then walk away? Owen Wilson did that.
Wow.
An unfinished satirical film on O.J. Simpson titled The Juice had a role perfect for Wilson, according to director Joshua Newton. He said Owen Wilson was perfect for the role. I actually had a meeting with him in Santa Monica. Everybody loved the script. His agent wanted him to do it. We offered him $12 million. But at the end of the lunch, Owen stood up and said, if you think that I'm going to take the lead role in a movie about how OJ didn't do it, you got to be kidding me. But Newton says he's finally found another spot-on actor for the part and hopes of completing the movie by October 2025, the 30th anniversary of Simpson's not guilty verdict.
Wow, this sounds like an interesting concept for a movie.
Yeah, it's a satirical film, so I don't know how wacky they'll go with it, but
Did you guys see the story about OJ that surfaced after his passing? It was written by this woman named Nicole Minette, and she was a law student at USC, and she signed this NDA when Robert Kardashian and another one of OJ's lawyers came into USC's alumni office back in 1994 in the trial. Did anybody else?
No, I did not see that.
I'll share it with you guys. It's it's fascinating the lengths that his team went to protect his name. Apparently, according to this woman, there were 2 sexual assault cases that happened at USC that the school buried.
Yeah.
And the lawyers came in and to make sure that the prosecution couldn't get a hold of these stories and use them against OJ in court. In the first trial, in the criminal trial. And now that she is able to tell this story because OJ has died, it's taken off a little bit.
Wow.
So
I have no doubt. I mean, you had the creme de la creme of legal representation there, and those guys knew how to play dirty if they had to.
Sure.
I mean, Shapiro was the one who supposedly got rid of the bloody clothing.
Yeah.
All right, one last story. If you've got a Roku TV, your kids can now watch a bunch of educational TV, and it'll be free. PBS has launched a brand new channel on Roku called PBS Retro that features its classic shows for kids from the 70s through the 90s. So Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Thomas and Friends, and Reading Rainbow are just some of the shows expected to be available on the new Roku channel.
So it goes back that far.
Yeah. And you know what I think is great about shows like that is for little kids, they're kind of timeless.
Right.
And that you can get away, a kid can still find that entertaining.
One day we'll have computers.
I believe. So the shows can be watched on Roku TVs, web browsers, and more. And if you're looking for even more free PBS content, they offer PBS Antiques Roadshow, PBS Food, and PBS Nature channels on Roku as well. All right, we're ready for the clips. Here we go. Musica is a love story that's come to life. And in this clip, Camila Mendez talks about meeting her co-stars and now partner Rudy Mancuso over Zoom before filming began.
I had a work crush. I was just swooning, but I didn't know what it would be like until I met him in person, and then it was very obvious after that. And it was really sweet because I got to know his mom while I was getting to know him. I met them both pretty much at the same time. Obviously met you over Zoom a few months before filming, but in person, I met them the same day.
I don't give a
That's Veronica from Riverdale, by the way.
Yes, yeah.
Beautiful young lady. Musica is streaming now on Prime. Here's our next clip. The latest season on American Horror Story follows an actress trying to make it through a tough pregnancy and dominate Hollywood at the same time. And in this clip, Emma Roberts talks about the sinister storylines of the series.
It goes all out. I mean, even I was shocked at where it goes. It really explores, the themes of motherhood and kind of, can we have it all? And I think the answer is more complex than yes or no.
I'm scared.
The season finale of American Horror Story, Delicate Part 2, is streaming now on Hulu.
And it's the Kim Kardashian.
Yes, that is correct. And there you go. That's the entertainment report for today. All right, we've got guests and stuff to give away this morning as we try to have every day on our program. We have Adam Hutter, who is the World Oddities Expo guy, and it's coming to Philadelphia this Saturday, and he's going to bring by some stuff.
Yes.
For us to check out. And if you like weird things, you will love this event. We'll take a break. We'll come back in a moment. Don't forget, Good Money your first chance less than an hour away at 8 a.m. Let's get you $1,000, all right? We'll be back in a moment.
WMMR.
Thank you, Kathy. So we were discussing a story in the entertainment report just a little while ago about Gisele Bündchen getting pulled over, and somebody was filming, and you can see her as she gets the ticket from the cop. I assume it's a ticket,
Right.
And she was crying. She was a little upset over the whole thing, and I don't know if she was just overwhelmed by it all. I can't imagine she was turning on the waterworks to get out of a traffic ticket because she's got pretty much, she's got disposable money. She's got a few bucks.
Yeah, but it depends on what it was. So my situation was I would have got like points on my license and all of that, which can affect your insurance. Well, I guess whatever, it all boils down to money. But so I ended up getting just a speeding ticket, not one that would come with points or me having to go to court or anything like that.
Right. So I don't know, but people do, ladies in particular may from time to time turn on the waterworks in that scenario to try and get out of it. And
time to time, like I would say most times.
That was my question as I was reading the article. I'm like, so that would be the common thing would be you'd hear, cry to get out of a ticket. And I'm like, is that still a thing? Is it employed now and then?
Totally.
And how effective is it?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Like I also cried. We were on spring break. We were in South Padre, and we, got some amazing deal on some hotel through this, company, but it was like a spring break type company. So we got there, and the hotel was, quote, not ready for us. So they put us up in another hotel, which was like the center of spring break. It was, a party at the pool. It was within walking distance of all the bars we wanted to go to. Well, 2 days in, they say, okay, your hotel is ready. Well, we get to the hotel. It was disgusting. It was like in the middle of nowhere. There was we took a picture, like a cockroach in the tub. Like,
Oh, I know that
You know
place.
that
You know the
place?
place.
Yeah.
You went there too, yeah. So we were like, no way. We went back to the original place, and they were like, we're booked. Like, we have nothing. And so I started crying and saying, you can't make me stay at this other hotel, and the whole thing. And sure enough, the lady found a room for us.
Oh my goodness!
See,
what a
it
miracle!
worked. It worked.
All right. And Casey shared a story of him faking crying to try and get out of. Well, he got busted in the girls' dorm.
Yeah.
And trying to get out of that, and it didn't work.
Oh man, did I try?
I think it didn't work because your roommate laughed. I think it would have worked.
No, I was
No?
at that point. It was already done. You know what I mean? Like I was just being escorted home by the security guard. I had already gotten written up. Like I was already in trouble. So I mean, and Kathy, it was like a 3-part play. I mean, it started in the girls' dorm. It continued in the. In the security's vehicle, and then
What traumatic
Three-part
experience
play.
were you drawing on to?
I don't even know.
Tears.
Press, I don't even know, but I was digging deep, man. I was digging real deep.
215-263 WMMR. I'd like to hear about it, especially if you've faked. Tried to fake crying to get out of something, and either it worked or it went bad. Love to hear about
Yeah,
that.
like, what did you get out of
What
from crying?
and how effective is it? Now, I assume, and this is probably a wrong thing to assume, but if you're a woman, and you are somewhat attractive and you're crying, a la Giselle Bundchen,
Well-
that is a confluence of things that can be very effective.
But Steve, I wonder if it's a split-second decision. You're sitting there going, okay, sexy or crying?
right,
Sexy or crying?
yeah.
Which one am I going to use here?
As he walks up.
So you amped it up, or were you were legitimately crying, but did you sell it?
The hotel situation, I amped it up. The getting pulled over, I was not at all having a good day.
Okay,
and
so you
that
actually
was-
broke down crying.
I was crying before he got to the car. So like he came over and he was like, "Is everything okay?" And I just was like, I kind of just threw my hands up and I was like, it's not a good day. But you know what else? I would like to kind of hear from like the cops too, because they're the ones who are going, okay, you're crying. I'm not going to give you points on your license.
Right.
Here's a ticket that you just need to pay the fine.
I know that, and I speak from a personal point of view, and I don't know if I'm sure other guys can commiserate with this, but when you have a hysterically crying woman, whether you know them or not, it can be like, what I don't know what to do.
Right. Well, for
Like, you know what-
the
like-
type of person you are, that's what, if it was me, I'd be like, what's wrong? Can I help you? Do you need something?
I know. This would be my body language, and I know this is radio. Let's say it's Casey. I'd be like,
yeah.
I want to touch them, but I also don't
Because you know it's a violation. If I were a cop person, I go, here's my gun.
Hey, I didn't tell you guys this the other day, this was obviously serious, but I go upstairs to go to the bathroom, and so I go through the stairwell, and I walked into the stairwell, and there was a woman on the phone who was sobbing.
Oh my God.
I know, and I quickly.
What's so funny?
Yeah.
What's so funny?
That's my
No, I felt horrible, and
Quickly
I
walk
don't know
out.
if she was talking. She found out somebody died or something like that. But I was just like, oh my God.
And you want to, as a human, where's the bathroom? No, you want to give a hug or something.
But it's also none of your business.
It is, yeah,
And
yeah.
So you kind of walk that line. We're gonna go to some calls here. I have Samantha on the phone. Hi, Samantha. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's up, Samantha?
So I had a friend. She was a waitress with me, and she told me one time she got pulled over speeding, and the cop came over, and she was bouncing up and down in her seat and squirming.
Okay.
And she told the cop that she was speeding because she has a urinary tract infection.
So that's a bait and switch. Though that's like saying you have diarrhea. But was she crying when she did that? That's what we're trying to meter, the effectiveness of good old fashioned crying.
She did a pretty good acting job.
Okay.
She showed me what she was doing, and she got away with it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we've heard like diarrhea. Or I got an alert from my home security system. I'm trying to get home. Oh, okay. So you're being duplicitous. But I'm wondering on that level that you're talking about, Preston, on an emotional display, how effective that is.
Thank you, Samantha. Maybe if you had UTI and crying. at
Oh,
the
it's a
same
home
time,
run. Yeah.
then you got it. All right, we'll go to Heather. Hi, Heather. Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, what's up, Heather?
Hi. I'm much older now. But when I was 18, me and my friend were driving on 95, and I was driving. She was next to me. She was completely trashed at the time, too. And I was sober, don't worry.
Okay.
I got clock speeding going 127 miles an hour.
Excuse me?
my God.
127 miles an hour?
Yeah, I don't speed like that anymore.
Wow.
You're like qualifying for NASCAR.
That's not safe.
So as the cop was coming up, I turned my phone off. He came up. I started crying. I was like, I was supposed to be home an hour ago. I got lost. My phone died. My parents are going to be super worried. My parents, like, I didn't even live with my parents at the time. Like, they didn't even know where I was.
Oh,
The whole thing was a made-up story.
Shame on you. So
The cop, like, ended up not giving me a ticket. He told me I was really bad at driving fast, though, and I needed to slow down.
no, and he probably saved your life because that's wildly dangerous. But you worked, you did the waterworks, and I got to get home from my parents. You concocted this whole story, and it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't
Wow.
give me a ticket. Thank God, because, like, you could lose your life to that.
Yeah.
127,
Easily.
yeah.
Were you guys laughing after that?
Yeah.
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 I'm having a little
18.
trouble believing that a cop is going to let somebody go for crying if they're driving 127 miles an hour.
I mean, especially because I just got this text from my wife who said she was 9 months pregnant. She gets pulled over in somebody else's car, like she was driving her friend's car. Yeah. The cop pulls her over. She's like, I just lost my job. That's why I'm in this car, because I had a company car. I'm clearly 9 months pregnant. Cop's like, I don't care. You know what I mean?
Well, it
Like,
depends.
meanwhile,
Depends
doesn't
on the
mean
person.
It's a person.
Yeah,
it's a
I
human
know.
being. This guy that Heather came across felt,
yeah.
I don't know.
Heather, let me ask. You: would you consider yourself attractive?
No, like I'm okay. Like,
Okay.
You know, I'm a bigger girl, so it's not like I'm a model.
Okay.
But like I've gotten pulled over for other dumb stuff and like have cried and always get a ticket. So I
Okay.
think I really lucked out. Like it does not work for me all the time. I have gotten I got going through a stop sign that I rolled through, I kind of stopped, and he gave me a ticket even though I was crying.
I'll tell you this: I think there's something innate.
Thanks, Heather.
The way you described it, Preston, and if someone's crying, I don't care what. It's like, oh my God. Yeah, I think it's just natural in us. And for the police who see it probably quite often, I don't know how I guess you got to work at building a blister to stop you from constantly caving when someone's getting emotional from getting a ticket.
Hang on, let me go to Jared. Hi, Jared. Good morning.
Back off, war child.
Back off, war child.
Seriously.
Back off, war child. Seriously.
I didn't think Heather's story would be beat. Listen to Jared here. Go ahead. Tell your story, man.
All right, so I was on my way to work in the morning, going down 422 on my motorcycle. I was passing the outlets. There was a cop sitting there. I passed him at 155 miles an hour. He had two cops sitting down at Oaks at Egypt Road.
Oh, yeah.
And they pulled me over, and they gave me this huge spiel, made me get off the bike, sit down on the side of the road. So I just broke out in tears, telling them I'm going to be late for work. I'm going to get fired. I just had a baby. I felt like Dick Harper from Fun with Dick and Jane.
Right.
Everything.
Was any of that true?
Well, my girlfriend was pregnant. She didn't have the baby. And I could have been late to work if I wanted to. I just knew I was going to get my license taken away.
Yeah.
By the way, you're by the outlets, and they don't get you till Oaks. That is a long-ass way, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was boogieing.
Wow.
Not if you're going 150.
Yeah, and Jared, by the way,
37 seconds and you make it.
didn't the cops say you just had a baby and you're driving like an a-hole like that?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were screaming at me. I mean, they were giving me a bunch of crap.
Right.
But I told them, I was like, this is the only income I have. I just had a baby a week ago. And they made me sit there for about 15 minutes, ran me, gave me a bunch of rights and told me to knock the heck off and get to work.
Dude, they let you go.
Your life could have caved in on you at 155 miles an hour. But so crying worked.
Yeah. It did. I'm telling you, I had tears. I had tears running down both of my cheeks, and they felt so bad for me.
Well, that speaks to the humanity of the police officers.
How were you able to? Can you cry on command?
Yeah, I'm pretty good at it.
Okay.
I don't know why, but if
I
I
can't.
can think of a sad thought, and boom.
All right, and then I have to ask, how many years ago was this?
Well, my daughter's 11, so it's about 11 and a half years
All right,
ago.
it's been a while.
Yeah.
Have you gone 155 miles an hour since then?
Yesterday on my way home down.
Dude, stop it, man.
No. Are you serious?
I got a really nice worked out ZX14. It's the biggest crotch rocket they made.
You can't do. You got a daughter now.
How do you not get pulled over all the time?
Well, you got to know where the cops are on 422.
Listen,
like
you were
clearly
given
didn't before.
You were given a great gift before. You drive a little safer because you want to be around for your daughter.
Yeah, Jared, stop being a dick, dude. Don't do 150 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Also, now you just announced it. Every cop on 422 is going to be looking for you later.
Yeah.
Screwed.
Yeah, you're screwed.
Thanks, Jared. Appreciate it, man. See ya.
Later.
Yeah.
Do you think you could cry on command, Preston?
No. To summon actual tears?
Yeah.
No, I mean, where you see them? No.
I can think about things that will get me tearing up, but like in a situation like this, on air in a room, no.
It would take concentration.
Yeah,
I'd have to
but
really
I could
dwell
probably
on,
work
on
into it.
something
Yes.
super sad.
Kathy, how long do you think it would take for you to cook up some tears for us?
No, I wouldn't. With you guys,
Come
no
on.
way.
That's
Right
in
now.
this environment, it would be virtually impossible.
It wouldn't.
Were you to go and just kind of sit with yourself for a while
then maybe
and
I
think
could.
about things? There are things I can definitely call upon that would make me cry. Are you more likely to cry from joy or duress?
Oh, no, duress.
Okay.
For sure.
Wow, that's a good question.
Yeah.
When I see heartbreaking things,
Right.
that makes me like in movie scenarios in movies or real life stories. Or no, the joyous things get me going too.
I've been on an algorithm that's little kids getting the puppy or cat.
Oh my God, I can't.
And, right? Right?
I love it. Because they take a look at it, they immediately fall in love, and then they cry.
They can't believe it.
Yes.
They can't believe it.
Yeah, and then they don't walk the dog. They don't clean up after the
Of course they don't.
Yeah.
Casey,
Ever.
why don't you? Can you cry on command?
Yeah.
Are you going to do
yeah.
it now?
No, I can do it. No. They have to give me a second.
Hang on. I want to go to David here real quick. Hi, David. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good.
Am I
What-
on the radio?
You are.
Sweet.
All right, David says here you were a cop for 24 years.
Yeah. I was. I used to. I'm not going to say where.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that. That's crazy.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
But what's up, code?
So what I had was when I was a cop. Whenever I had a girl that was pretty, I was like, oh man, she's flirting with me. Well, one day, I have several stories like this, but I'll give you one real quick one.
Okay.
I pull over a girl and I walk up to the car and she's a total smoke show, gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't go the crying route, but the route she went was the more, I'm a hot chick, I'll just get this cop to do whatever I want. So I'm thinking at first, I'm walking up talking to her. I'm like, oh, this girl's into me. You know what I mean? So I'm like totally unprofessional. I'm like, this girl's so into me, right? So I say to her, I'm like, give me all your information for the car. And I'm sitting there thinking, I worked out. She's probably checking me out.
David, come on.
Sitting there, Hey, listen, I was a young guy. I mean,
Of course. Yeah, it's natural.
Now, not so much, but whatever. So, I'm saying, I get all her information. I'm thinking, oh, this girl's so hot. She's gonna be so into me. I'm gonna get her number, this and that. So when I walked away from her car to go back to my car, I kind of sit there for a second. I'm like, oh man, I didn't grab a certain piece of information. So I went to turn around and I could see her laughing, high-fiving her friend, and then the girl in the passenger seat goes, she says, got him, we got him. And I'm like, what the? You're totally playing me.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't think I'm hot at all.
So you planted some drugs in the backseat of her car, right?
No, it was so bad. It was so bad that when I got back to my police car, I actually looked in the rearview mirror and was like, I still got it. Like, why don't these girls think I'm So I sat there for a second and I said, all right, whatever. So I walked back to the car and they're like, laughing and giggling, because I know they're not into me. You know? So I walk up and I'm like, hey, listen, just watch watch what you're doing, this and that. Here's 3 tickets for you. And here's a ticket for you for not having your seatbelt on.
Oh, yes. Boom.
So I gave the passenger and the driver tickets. And then she was like, she kind of gave me a look and I was just like, and I said, yeah, you have a nice day. And then she starts cursing at me, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But here's the caveat to that.
Okay.
Well, not caveat. If I ever had, like a girl that was not attractive and didn't flirt but was, like, genuinely crying, I was a total wuss. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry I pulled you over for doing the wrong thing. I was just like I wasn't like a nice, I'm a bigger guy. So I'm like imposing and I'm like turning into this soft little.
David, to be honest, I don't, I can completely hear that. I think I see someone who's really seems to be upset or sad, and it gets to me quickly. So, so I think it's honest to just admit it. You see someone who's really been, how many times do you think you've been, so statistically, how many times do you think you were played by that maneuver?
Maybe since, before that, when I was a young cop, maybe a lot. Because, I was a total sucker. Oh, that girl thinks I'm cute. Oh, yeah. But in actuality, I'm like, dude, you're a cop. She probably dates millionaires. What are you?
Yeah.
Oh, but here's the other thing. Kathy, are you there?
Yeah.
You would never get a ticket.
Oh, David.
Oh my God, David!
You wouldn't have to flirt with a guy like me. I would just be like, yeah, whatever you want.
Oh my God,
there you go,
David. Thank you for admitting all this. This is a great phone call.
You guys are great. I love you guys.
Right, take care. We love you too. See you, bud. Oh my God,
I had a feeling.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Do you see line 8, Ron?
Yeah, I'm going to go. He's who I'm going to next. Ron is a retired police officer. We're going to go to him. Hey, Ron. Good morning, bud.
Good morning. Sorry to bother you at work.
No, we want to hear about this. So you said you were taught how to handle people who turn on the waterworks.
Yeah, so just real quick background. I'm a retired police officer from South Jersey. Okay. I will not name the department. But I also taught the police academy for 15 years. Okay. And my specialty was teaching traffic. And one of the things that we used to do was as the class went on, we would do actual practical scenarios. So the recruits would have to come out at night. During the day, we would perform car stops. We would bring in actors that would volunteer, and we would make sure that we had some very beautiful ladies and some very good-looking guys, and just see how the recruits responded. And then we would take it back to the classroom and explain to them that, this is exactly what people do in order to get out of tickets. Mm-hmm. And the message really is, you're trying to prevent really a fatal or life-threatening accident. And sometimes, as much as they turn on the waterworks, you have to ignore that in order to basically push a message that, look, this is unacceptable.
Right.
So
the point of it all.
Yeah. Like earlier, we had a caller. She said she was going 127 miles an hour.
Steve, I find that hard to believe that the cop did not give her a ticket. Because there is a certain line that if you cross that, there's no coming back from it.
Right.
There's no coming back.
It's just way too dangerous.
Absolutely, way too dangerous. And, Preston, my wife turned me on to you guys a number of years ago. She listens, and when she's at work, she listens to the replay every single day. I didn't know if you could give her a shout out because she would love that.
Sure. Yeah.
So my wife's name is Michelle, and she would love a shout out. If you could do that.
Here we go right now. This is for Michelle. There you go.
There you go, hon. Right. But yeah, listen, seriously, everybody. Everybody that's listening, it's better to be 5 minutes late than 5 minutes early to your funeral.
That's
man.
a good. That's a. I like that little action. That's cool.
Yeah, for example, don't drive 150 miles an hour on 422.
Yeah, he's got to stop that.
Broadcast on the radio.
Call a radio
He just did
station
that yesterday.
about
Especially when you have a daughter. You want to be around for your kids.
All right, Ron. Thanks for the heads up. We appreciate it, bud.
All right, have a good day.
All right, see you later. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean the point of it is to send a mission. Now I know that police can assess at the moment and go, okay, we're going to give you this one.
Right.
Remember, next time you're in trouble. You know, I mean, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Listen, anytime I've ever had an accommodation like that, I've taken it to heart and tried to, not that I've committed any crimes or anything of that nature, but I would see that as a second chance, and you take advantage of it.
I didn't. I told you guys this story, but it wasn't it was an inspection. An expired inspection, and the cop pulls me over. And he let me go. This was early in my radio career. This was in Jefferson City, Missouri. And so I went on the radio and I said, I want to thank the police officer for letting me go. Because I said I'm going to get this taken care of. Well, the police office was flooded with complaint calls.
Man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And the next day, I'm driving my exact same route. Dude pulled me over. Yeah. He dinged me this time. And he's like, heard about what you said on the radio. And I'm like,
I can't do
God, you idiot. So, yeah.
Well, then I might as well tell you about the dead hooker.
Yeah.
When we were younger, we used to throw snowballs at cars, and there was a little park that we would go to. It was a great little spot because it was like a one-way road, so we only threw snowballs at cars going in one direction because they couldn't come and get us. So anyway, long story short, one dude comes and sneaks up on us after we threw snowballs at his car, and he's got my buddy Matt, and Matt fake like he was having a heart attack. He starts hyperventilating. He's like, so Matt is an actor, all right? So, went to school for acting and all that. The dude was like freaking out that he was going to kill his kid, and he just ran away. He just left.
He frightened him away.
He frightened him away.
Right, well, what if you're not a good actor?
Yeah.
Yeah, police, I would imagine, have to deal with that all the time, too. People faking a panic attack
or diarrhea.
A heart attack. But you have to take that seriously.
Sure.
Because on the off chance that person is really dying and you don't do anything about it, then it's worse.
I wonder what they do in that situation. I assume they would escort you
to a hospital.
Or
something. Or call EMS.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also pretended that I was the passenger and that I was sick, and the cop escorted us to where we were going.
Shut up. I've never heard you tell this story before.
We were driving into Avalon. I had a house in Avalon, and when, you can't speed anywhere down the shore.
Yes.
We were coming over the bridge
25.
and into Avalon, and guy pulled us over. I can't believe I never told this story. Guy pulled us over.
Good.
Yeah. So that's what my friend said. She was driving. She was like, she's so sick. I'm just trying to get her to the house. So we get to the house. I ran in and pretended like I was sick. And I started to like walk out to be like, oh, I'm okay now. And my friend was like, waved me back in. She's like, no, get inside. So I stayed inside. She comes upstairs and I was like, did he give you a ticket? And she was like, no. She goes, but I'm going on a date with him.
Oh my God. And now they're married with kids?
No. She banged him.
Dude,
and,
it's a whole other world.
And he was a weirdo, and that was
Did she offer that up to get out of the whole thing, sort of?
So.
Oh, my God.
I think it might have been
She
that.
took one for the team.
I think she took one for the team.
Wow.
She didn't bang him that night, but...
No, she's a good girl.
My goodness. All right.
I'm jealous.
All right.
Right? That you could do that?
What the hell?
Like, if I were to offer that, even in my heyday, I would be laughed out of the...
Of course.
Are you kidding?
Oh,
on
of
a date,
course.
mister?
Yeah, it's
Hey, mister, want to go on a date?
Yeah.
I want to go to...
mister.
I'm going to go to Joe here. Hi, Joe. Good morning.
Good morning. This is not one of my proudest stories.
Yeah, I see
right.
what you're going to tell here, and I was hesitant to even go to your call.
But do you see there's a couple of calls with the same thing? He's
No.
not the only one.
I didn't see that.
I
Okay.
had to pick up. Oh, thank God. It makes me feel a little bit better. But I got a phone call from my daughter. This happened about 12 years ago. I got a phone call from my daughter's daycare saying that she was sick. So I went to go pick her up and, driving home, completely blow a yield sign. Completely blow it. Just went right through it. Cop pulls me over. I panic and I pinch my daughter to wake her up. She starts crying. Cop pulls me over. Do the whole sobbing. She's sick. crying, trying to get her home. Takes my information, goes back to the car, comes back about 10 minutes later, and just gives me a ticket for a lesser fee. He still gives me a ticket, but not as bad as I found out it was going to be. Here, I found out a couple of days later that he actually called the school to see if I was lying, to see if she was sick. And he let me go. He just gave me a lesser ticket, but the ticket that I would have gotten would have been 5 points on my license.
5 points for going through a yield sign?
I went right through it. I didn't even stop.
All right.
I can't believe he called the school.
Yeah, I found out when I dropped her off the Monday after that the director's like, "Hey, how was your traffic stop the other day?" I'm like, looked at her confused. She's like, "Yeah, we got a phone call from an officer asking if she was really sick."
I've never heard of that. Wow.
I guess they can do that. It's part of their investigation.
Kathy, did you get a follow-up call?
I guess wanted to see if I was lying.
Yeah, of course.
Totally.
That's the whole reason. Yeah.
Yeah, it was when I found out that the ticket, because I have friends that are cops, and they said, "Yeah, that's a 5 points on your license, a $500 ticket." But he wrote it for me. He wrote it for a lesser. I think it might have been not coming to a complete stop.
Yeah, terrorism.
I blew that thing like it was no joke, and I felt bad. But
all right, well, you got to pinch your daughter. How?
Thanks, Joe.
It's a winning
Appreciate
day,
it, bud. Here's a text. Where was the other one, Nick? It said, it was, hey, this is, thanks for the shout out. This is Michelle, Officer Ron's wife. She said, love you guys to be watching on YouTube soon. And she writes, Officer Ron's wife, I can tell you, he was a hard ass on the job, but at home, if I cry or one of the kids do, he's a big softy.
There you go.
That's what she says. All right, do we have to wrap up now, Case?
Yeah.
All right. Unfortunately, we gotta take a break, but fortunately, it's for a good reason because we have $1,000 to give away, courtesy of MMR's Good Morning It. But thank you for the calls, and I apologize to those. I would like to apologize to those who I did not get a chance to go to on the phone lines, because there were a lot of really, really good stories.
I'd like to apologize.
Yes, of using tears to get out or attempting to get out of a ticket or some scenario. But we kicked it off with this story about Giselle Bundchen as she was crying after getting pulled over. We're going to take a break. We will come back in a moment. Like I said, $1,000, your first shot at winning today, and we'll get Bizarre File stories too, so make sure you stay with us.
93.3 WMMR.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia.
It's time for a Good Money It keyword.
All right, the word is prosper. Prosper. And you have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter it. There are 3 ways for you to do that, of course. WMMR.com, the MMR app, or you can text it to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. And one random entry wins $1,000 in our company-wide contest. Each winner gets a call from Beasley. Make sure you do answer your phone. Contest rules available at WMMR.com, and it's brought to you by McLaughlin Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. So the word again is prosper, Prosper. Let's get you $1,000. Enter it now.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Monster Jam, the only place to see the legendary Gravedigger tear up the dirt. See racing, big air, and backflips with Monster Jam roars in the Lincoln Financial Field, and that is going to be on May 4th. Yes. All right, so we are going to start with a local story, and this sucks for this gal. A Philadelphia woman is looking for answers after she says someone stole her father's ashes from her car this week.
This sucks.
Haley Ann Burgess from the Mayfair neighborhood says that she went out to her car Tuesday morning for work to find that someone had broken into it. All that was missing, however, was $20 in loose change and an urn with her father's ashes inside.
Come on.
Yep. She said, my car was definitely locked. I'm very meticulous about that. They left the picture, she said. This is probably worth more than the urn, as she pointed to a piece of jewelry with her dad's picture inside.
So the one thing I forgot, didn't get in this story, Preston, when I initially heard it, did she keep that in the car, or was she transporting it?
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think she keeps it in her car.
Okay.
And she mentions in this, I got this from 6ABC, but she mentions in it, she says, all the things in my car, you take the ashes and loose change and money. She says the crime happened sometime between Monday night and Tuesday morning around 6 a.m. She said that's when she found that her car, which had been parked in the 400 block of Teasdale Street, was broken into. She said it was all she had left of her dad, Dave Johansen. He passed away suddenly in 2019, and Wednesday marked exactly 5 years since his death. And she'd like to take him with her on the road. She said, "My dad was a mechanic, and my whole life, our thing was just cruising on the road." And she says this, jamming to Van Halen, Ozzy, and rocking out.
So that makes sense.
So
yeah.
I think she had dad in the car with her all the time.
Of course.
And she says that she spent hours scouring the block, hoping to find out what had happened. She learned a few other neighbors had their cars broken into as well, but at this point, nobody can find surveillance of the theft. She also made a report with the police, and she says that she doesn't care about the money. She just wants the ashes returned. She says, it's not monetary. It's my dad's ashes. It's all I have left of him. So if anybody does know anything, they're asked to call police. I hope that somebody can track that down for her. Britain's most well-hung bloke, it says in this story.
Yes.
Says that his member is more of a curse than a blessing. Matt Barr, who's 40 years old, claims that his 12-inch manhood, which I don't know if I believe that or not, has caused him endless grief, from dating disasters to getting booted from yoga and looking too excited when he actually wasn't. So he got thrown out of yoga.
Right, in his yoga pants.
Yeah, it looks like he's engorged.
Dude, your Gila monster's sick.
His standard size. Meanwhile, broaching the subject on dates is a minefield, he said. His massive member is more of a hindrance than help in the bedroom. He said one woman even tried to catfish him by luring him onto her OnlyFans under the guise of a, quote, normal date. Despite the cons, the well-endowed Brit has no plans to undergo a reduction, which would cost around $18,000 to surgically shrink.
So I watched the interview with this guy, and he's kind of slumpy, and you know, I mean, obviously he's got the huge Johnson, but he's just very like.
Yeah, there was a guy that was an American, and Rolling Stone actually did a feature on him years and years and years ago, and apparently he, at the time, had like what was considered the largest in at least the country. And he was that kind of same way.
Same kind of guy. Is it because you got a huge junk you figure out and you even have to try? Or
I don't know.
Brush up your presentation.
Who they are. 4 people have been taken to the hospital after several military horses broke loose during a morning exercise and bolted through central London, colliding with vehicles. Astonished witnesses described
horses.
Total mayhem.
Total mayhem.
The runaway horses, including one white horse that was drenched in blood, ran through the rush hour streets. It's pretty wild to see it.
It's amazing. It kind of looks biblical.
Yeah, one collided with a parked taxi outside of the Claremont Hotel in Buckingham Palace Road, smashing the windows of the Mercedes people carrier. A horse also crashed into a parked double-decker tour bus, smashing the windshield. A group of 7 horses and 6 soldiers from the Household Cavalry based at Hyde Park Barracks were on an extended exercise when the chaos erupted. 4 service personnel were thrown from the horses. 5 of the animals got loose. It's understood that the 3 soldiers were assessed in the hospital for injuries, which were not thought to be serious. The animals were eventually contained, but there's a lot of video because people just started whipping out their phones when they saw these horses running down the street.
They also look so incredibly majestic. You know, it almost looks like a cologne ad.
The BBC reported that the noise of builders moving concrete in Belgravia might have initially spooked the animals. Well, you may have seen this. An American father is facing 12 years in prison in Turks and Caicos after ammunition was found in his luggage as he returned home from vacation with his wife.
Oh, my God.
Ryan Watson has remained on the island for weeks following his arrest on April 11th alongside his wife, Valerie, who saw her charges dropped on Monday as she was allowed to return home to their 2 young children. Couple said they were passing through the airport security when 4 rounds of hunting ammo was found in Ryan's carry-on, which they claim were left by accident. She said, we were trying to pack board shorts and flip-flops. Packing ammunition was not at all our intent. The Oklahoma couple were on the Caribbean island for a friend's 40th birthday, but Valerie said their trip quickly went from what was supposed to be a dream vacation to a nightmare. A small bag of bullets and a Ziploc bag were found in his luggage, which the American TSA had missed out on their departing flight.
Yeah, that's what's my question is, how did they make it down there?
Yeah, Ryan said in an interview before his first court hearing that his heart sank as soon as he saw the bullets which he recognized from a recent white-tailed deer hunting trip. He said, I recognized him and thought, what a boneheaded mistake.
Those are my plane bullets.
I had no idea that those were in there. The couple were forced to remain on the island as their passports were seized, and Ryan said officials brushed off his pleas that it was a complete innocent mistake. Turks and Caicos prosecutors maintain that the crime is a serious offense in the nation. In 2022, the nation passed stricter laws that mandated a 12-year minimum sentence for ammunition possession.
Jeez.
Valerie said through tears that when she heard the mandatory sentence, she was immediately terrified because she can't be in prison for 12 years. She said, we have kids at home. She is still fighting to have her husband released from his criminal charges. Several prominent Oklahoma politicians, including Governor Kevin Stitt and Senator Markwayne Mullen, are lending their support. In a letter to Turks and Caicos officials, Stitt explained that Ryan is an avid outdoorsman and that leaving the ammunition in his bag was an oversight, not an intentional attempt to break the law.
He's furious. He threw a Stitt fit.
Despite the outpouring of support, the couple says that Ryan's extended stay and legal bills are financially and emotionally draining for the family, which she said may never recover from. So
Still, if you're going to be in prison, Turks and Caicos.
It's, I'm
it's quite
saying.
lovely.
This is horrifying. This is a nightmare. It's like a movie that's just waiting to be made.
Oh, being in another country, being incarcerated, and I mean, the Nat Geo series, Locked Up Abroad.
Yeah, and you are at the mercy of that country.
That's it. Those are their rules.
Their law.
It's our country, our rules.
Yeah, so there you go. That's your B file. So we have about 5 minutes left for you to enter the word prosper. That is our word for good money it. So make sure you enter that now, prosper, and you can do it at WMMR.com or through the MMR app, or you can text it to 45911. And if you want $1,000, I recommend you give it a shot. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in a moment, and we're going to show you some oddities.
Yes.
We're going to talk about oddities.
Very excited.
When we get back, stay put.
WMMR.
Quickly, Kathy Scudds with the Wigs for Kids. The event is coming up on May 6th. It's a Monday morning, and we need to get you signed up for that. 3 locations: Gravity Hair Salon in Ambler, David Arnold Salon in Jenkintown, and Vibe Salon in Mount Laurel. And Kath, you're going to be broadcasting at which locations?
I'm going to be early morning in Mount Laurel. So if you get one of those early appointments, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, something like that, I will be there then. And then I'm going to leave there and I'm going to head over to Gravity Hair Salon in Ambler, and I'll be there for the remainder of the morning. Gravity is the salon that's been doing this with us since the very first year. Yeah, so it's kind of a tradition, but I wanted to meet the people at Vibe Salon. I have not met them. I have not met the owner, so I wanted to go over there.
And when you leave, you're going to turn it over to Jackie Bam Bam.
Yes, Jackie
correct?
Bam Bam will be there from 7 to 9.
And then you will be giving us a little bit of traffic, maybe perhaps on the road as you travel on over. So it's going to be a big thing. It's going to be very cool.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So if you go to the website, you can sign up for any of the open spots.
Yeah, PrestonandSteve.com. And the appointments are 6 to 10 a.m. So we'll get you in before you go to work. And you get a style, you get the whole thing, and also a very cool gift bag from True Beauty Concepts. And the Kathy's Cuts t-shirt as well.
Yeah, and the gift bag is filled with full-size hair products. So you're leaving, not only with a new style, but you're getting...
not the little airplane bottle size.
Not a bunch of crap.
They're
Love
awesome
it.
at True Beauty, and they give everybody, full-size bottles of hair products.
Excellent. All right, well, our next guest is on board. He needs no hair products whatsoever, but he is here to talk about a really cool event this Saturday at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. It's an all-day event, noon to 8, and it is the World Oddities Expo.
It's awesome.
And we're playing Space Oddity because of the, Oddities Expo. So Adam Hutter is here with us this morning.
Hello, everybody.
Nice to see you, Adam. How are you, sir?
Wonderful. Thanks for having me back again.
Our pleasure. You're doing it bigger and better this year, I understand.
This is actually going to be our biggest show from what it looks like. Our projected attendance is huge.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked to a few people who were at the last time you were on promoting that.
Yeah.
And they loved it. And there is a buzz. I'm seeing it on social media and people responding and, knowing you're on today. This has its own, anything out of the realm of, the normal is there. And there's just such a wide variety of things for everyone. Give us a taste of the eclectic nature of what people will find at the event.
So there's a wide umbrella of things that people consider oddities. And me, as an old school nerd, you can have a conversation with me about live edge cutting boards, and when I find out that you know about botany to that level, I'm like, this is interesting. But for the most part, I would qualify it as natural history, taxidermy, a lot of home decor, a lot of fashion, a lot of artisans and small businesses. I mean, there's a lot of independent spirits in this country, and all of them seem to have a side hustle, and it's not a side hustle anymore. So it's like that oddity shop that you heard about in town, and you wanted to go there, but now it's just turned into an oddities mall and sprouted legs, and it runs all around the country like Baba Yaga's house.
So you say, like I see here, Victorian hair class, owl pellet dissection class.
That's for the kids.
Yeah.
Everybody loves barf.
But there's a whole bunch of stuff like that. So, and you do take the it is on tour. You will tour with this.
16 cities nationwide.
Wow.
But we were born and raised here in our beautiful Philadelphia.
Wow. So it's a good homecoming.
Yes, and also where the HR department developed, which is what helps for the expansion.
Nice. So you say what of these things is the main thing that you are into? Because there's also tattoo stuff and other things. But what is your main love in all the oddities?
Indian food.
Indian food.
There's no Indian food at the show, but allow me to elaborate. Traditionally, Indian food, as you're cooking it, is just structured upon structured upon structured. And throughout this chaotic symphony, you can customize your entire experience. You can take a class for whichever one fits. You can watch a performance. You can see free lectures, which nobody likes the word lecture. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We have guest presenters from a series of interesting educational backgrounds. And really just shopping is one of my favorite parts.
Okay. I could see that. I have a question. I'm looking at some of these workshops, and one of them is a taxidermy class.
Yes.
It says a rat head shoulder mount. So when I was a kid, and I was a hunter when I was a kid. I don't do that anymore. I haven't done it in a long time. My dad and I used to go hunting.
Yeah.
And I had shown a bit of an interest in taxidermy. I thought it was really cool. I think, that you could mount these beautiful animals and have them look that way. And so I started to, and at the time, the only way to learn about that was to go to the library and find a book and read about it. And I started reading about it, and it was way more involved than I thought it was, and way more artistically oriented than I realized. And so I never really did it. I never really tried it. And so this is an opportunity for those who might have a fledgling interest in this to maybe get introduced into it.
Yes, absolutely, with a qualified instructor, which is the really important part.
Yeah.
So, quick Snapple facts. Taxidermy is centuries old, and it actually means taxidermy means to manipulate the skin. So essentially you tan the product, cure the skin, and then reposition it.
Yep.
And a lot of that has fallen to the, hunter, sport hunter, and museum crowd. But the taxidermists that we know are just true naturalists. And some of them seem very odd. You go out into nature with them, and they're, squatting, picking up specific leaves and taking pictures of grass to mimic the diorama to just
I
add
can see that. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And also some artistic, carving is involved in that too, or at least it used to be, to, having the base mount to put the skin on and stuff like that.
So here's a little skull. I brought a couple. You guys can have this one. You want to hang it?
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
What is this a skull of?
So it's a female springbuck. And so essentially back in the day, you would use the real skull, but you would use what we call critter clay, which is an air drying clay that doesn't crack. And you essentially want to make an écorché. So if you've ever seen like the sculpture,
I don't know what that is.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all
I'll
good.
try to wrap it up.
Yeah, no.
If you ever see these mannequins and it's a human being and there's no skin.
Yes.
It's a statue of the musculature of a human being.
Yes.
They date back centuries as well to Europe, and they used them for anatomical studies. Essentially, you're creating an écorché because you want to volumize the muscle that was lost. So you use the actual skull, build it right into a foam mount. Before, they used plaster, which made those things heavy as all
hell.
Heck.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I can say hell here.
Yeah.
Sweet. double hockey sticks. That's why I brought the mount on the couch.
I saw that. An antelope of some type, it looks like.
It is an African antelope called a topi.
Okay.
And I just recently purchased way too much taxidermy because a guy that really liked collecting it kicked the bucket. And I think they're going to mount him and just put him on the wall. But it was a 40-foot wall, and there was too many caribou, so we had to take some of them down so they could put him up.
Hey, by the way, a quick question is and we want to take a look at some of the oddities you brought in today, and that was one of them. Has anyone ever, I mean, besides obviously the historical preserved bodies that exist, what are the laws concerning if someone wanted to have themselves, for lack of a phrase, taxidermied after death? Is that something that is legal? Is that something that is doable if one wants to?
No.
Okay.
Short answer, no, and I can very easily explain why, because the litigation process to be able to use a body which should only be used for medical, medical instruction, is really pretty tight-knit and hopefully getting tighter-knit. There are, to my knowledge, there's services that will preserve your tattoos, which is very, very important because as far as I'm concerned, they are living artwork.
Right.
There have been no cases, I am happy to to report, of human taxidermy.
Okay.
As far as that goes.
I was
But
just curious as that if, who knows what people would want, and if you're going to be, if your options are cremated or being buried, or you wanted yourself memorialized that way.
There's
very well preserved bodies.
Yes, of course.
Ava Perón.
Yeah.
And was
There's right
Lenin
here.
or no, one of the Russian.
It was Ringo.
Ringo.
Yeah, but also here the priest, Father.
Keith Moon.
But so yeah, it's something you can't.
John Newman, yeah.
over
that's
here
the father.
to the left, I brought one more of my little
And what is this?
treasures.
Okay.
Well, the long story short is it's a two-faced kitten that has been plastinated, which is a series of high polymer impregnation where you replace the water tissue in the kitten. So it's not taxidermy. It's not like beef jerky. That's the whole kitten, tissue and all. And we use a very slow, meticulous process, basically kind of like the Body Worlds exhibit that you've seen, which is essentially a reconstruction of the tissues back on the skeleton, but it is the real tissue.
Yeah.
And it's a relatively new process. And I'm very excited that I haven't blown myself up doing it.
Oh, really? A lot of volatile chemicals used?
Well, so essentially to supplant the chemicals, you use a vacuum chamber that pulls to about 0.014 atmosphere. And what that means is the vacuum of space.
Wow.
And I do that in my shed.
Okay, can you hold that up again? So, for example, are any of these processes, you said this is a new process, but a lot of the stuff, so
70s.
take the Muter Museum, right, and what they do, is some of the techniques that you have displayed, are they the kind of things that might be used to preserve organs and stuff at the Muter Museum?
I don't know what is going on with the Muter these days.
Wow.
I hear back and forth at
They're
the
getting rid
Muter
of a lot
that
of stuff.
they're taking it off of public display, which a bit of a travesty to, public education as far as I'm concerned.
Right,
But
right.
I don't know, somebody somewhere must have been offended by education or self-development. And plastination started in like the 60s, 70s. It was pioneered by a guy named Gunther von Hagens.
Right.
And
Hagen's Das, we know the ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the worst flavor. It did not test well.
So show us somewhere. We want to get to some of the other things and entice people to come down and see all that is to be experienceable at the event. What else do you have to show us?
Well, in summation to the last one, the reason there is no plastination at the Muter is because it's too young.
Okay.
It was in the 60s, and that collection, I believe, is like the 1850s.
And nothing has been added since?
A few things.
Okay.
A few things have. He specialized in medical anomalies, and I don't think anybody's ever really offered it to him.
All
And
right.
listen, if they want it and they're down to display it,
you have a shed.
I have a shed, and I've got some of the best professionals that have been doing it since the start in my corner, which is humbling.
Right.
Oh, what else? So I grabbed a bunch of random stuff. I'm actually opening a shop today. In a couple of hours. We're giving away 25 tickets randomly that have been randomized for the first 200 customers for today and tomorrow. 2152 East Dolphin Street, the End Times Boutique.
End Times Boutique.
Yeah.
All right, this is going to be like an anchor place for a lot of your stuff.
There's so much stuff.
Okay.
There has been an accumulation of so much stuff.
Well, show us what you got here.
This is a barracuda skull.
Hold it up if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, sorry.
Wow.
Barracuda.
That's cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
I bring him for the content, but yeah, most of this was just we've been building the shop day in, day out. We actually had a little
there you go.
Buy nipples for your baby, and versus Jackie Bam Bam, who's like,
oh, that's him.
We'll
yes.
see you.
Yeah, he's going to be there.
Oh, I know. We talked all about it, but during the show,
He's on display there.
I know.
yeah,
he'll be taxidermied live.
Well, he's hosting.
Yeah.
He'll be hosting for several hours during the show, and the rest of the time he'll be emphatically running around and God knows what ensemble.
By the way, we speak of, if you're just tuning in, the World Oddities Expo, which is Saturday at the Pennsylvania Convention Center, noon to 8 p.m. And yes, Jackie will be there. If you want to get tickets, woetothee.com. Woetothee.com.
How do you spell woe? Because I've done this wrong.
WOE.
Okay.
WOE, like World Oddities Expo. And I'm Mr. Woe.
That's perfect.
There you go.
Mr. Woe.
Which is why I sound like this tonally.
Yeah.
But I'm doing my best for you guys.
All right, it's good.
You've amped it up.
You're like
least
Robin
5
Williams
notches.
today. It's amazing. What else do you have?
I wish. So,
pregnant pause.
Yeah.
random.
Pregnant
Yeah,
pause.
sorry about
Okay.
that. He was like, so what else do you have? And I was like, no, I think I ran through what I had. But yeah, we do have a couple of classes I wanted to talk about for the show because, they're telling me this is going to be the biggest show that we've done here, which is awe-inspiring and intimidating. I'm wondering if we shouldn't cover some of the polls outside in Crisco.
Yeah.
Just in case. But
Okay.
but yeah, we've got 2 new classes. It's an insect diorama class. There's something called cottage core. Are you familiar with cottage core?
Not familiar with cottage core.
I felt like you weren't. I'm sorry for stereotyping.
No
But
problem.
essentially, it is a sub-niche of goth with all things cute.
Oh.
So skeletons and a skeleton placed on a doily in your home, and essentially that's cottage core.
Well, I kind of like that.
Yeah. And so they're making the small cloche domes with fake flowers, and it's like a floral arrangement with an entomology aspect.
That's
And
pretty cool.
And you were talking about the Victorian hair art.
Yeah.
I was sad to see that Victorian hair art wasn't just for dead people, because that's more spoopy.
All right, what is it? Because that must have been an off-air discussion.
No,
Did
I
did you
mentioned it
mention
earlier on. Yeah.
It was
I didn't hear
it was mentioned.
Okay.
So Victorian hair art, once upon a time, you would weave the hair from a loved one or lover or family member into flowers, and they create these elaborate works of art, these elaborate wreaths that have just lived for centuries.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, and if you've ever tried to do anything with hair, it's kind of tedious and horrible, and they seem to have mastered it very well, and also a lot more color now. So you can actually do like a flower that has like a green stem and a purple
Made out of hair.
Back then, yeah. It sounds gross when you say it.
Right, yeah. but it is what it is.
But think, once upon a time, you went off to war and you had a wallet chain that was a beautifully woven wallet chain with gold clasps and held your pocket watch, and that was your love's hair, reminded you, to get home on time. Yeah. Or if somebody had passed, I've seen portraits that had entire families, like a family photo album, and next to it is a little pocket with a lock of their hair. And they were done while they were alive. These are not posthumous artworks. There's a lot of strange ones that have lived throughout the years. And you can find a lot of that stuff in this part of the world most people don't realize. Just because Amish country especially, Very.
Is that something they are adept at?
They are adept at preserving the past in their own way.
Right. Yeah.
That's the nice way to say. You go out there and you're riding behind a buggy, but to go to an undertaker in Amish country is amazing. They're making sleds, carriages for funerary rites, and it's amazing, and the craftsmanship.
Adam, I wanted to ask, it seems like a lot of the oddities focus on the macabre. They focus on, there's death involved. What isn't?
Well, we don't have a full description of it, but essentially, death is at the end of your life. You stop being.
So what he's saying, what is?
No, I'm saying what
is death, or what is this fascination?
No, not is what is the fascination, and neither one of those. What amongst the collection does not revolve around death? Is there anything that we're talking about that's an oddity?
I thought we were getting into a philosophical conversation about the mortal coil.
No, sir.
Oh no, no, it's a peculiar paradise. There is sideshow everywhere.
You have a corn dog stand.
It's an Oddities corn dog stand. So those corn dogs are made out of actual dogs.
I have actual dogs.
Yeah, Pennsylvania Convention Center, though, that's all them.
Okay.
So honestly, the dark aspect, I think, is the one that appeals to humans the best.
I'm not putting you on the spot. I was just legitimately curious.
No, I was already in this spot.
Okay.
But I would say that the performance, there are cultural aspects as well. We have free presentation on Buto, which is, that's about death too.
It's okay that it all relies. He was just asking, like if you had like a frisbee football going on, it would be an anomaly.
We have casket cornhole that we put up next to the stage.
That would be a home run.
But no, in all honesty, it's not where there is dark, there is light.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's how the light gets in,
right?
As the man said. There is a lot of color and exuberance, and we have sideshow. I like to enter in a lot of educational aspects, but you don't want to use those words because people seem averse to it, which is weird because they all love to learn and drink in life.
As the great teacher Bill Cosby said, and if you're not careful, you might learn something.
Yes, he said that.
We can all learn.
I did appreciate your definition of actual death, though. That was helpful.
You're welcome.
You'd be surprised how many times the definition of death pops up in the commercials.
Hey, Adam, what happens when you die?
All right, well, here's something I'll point out. Adam has a very cool presentation about the way you dress, the way you present yourself. Are there clothing items and things like that for sale at this event?
We have hundreds of vendors.
Okay.
There's hundreds of vendors. And again, Oddities is a very big umbrella term for if it's interesting, I'm interested.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think interesting is even more applicable because there's so much of it that is genuinely interesting to people.
For all of my life, interesting has been the bless your heart version of people speaking to me. And they are either very impressed by me or not so. And they're like, yes, he's interesting.
I love that.
Well, I will say this: you are interesting in the best of ways, and the show is it's poised to be big. I'm so glad this buzz. I'm also glad that the biggest version of it resides here in Philadelphia.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm also impressed that you're doing this on the heels of opening a new shop.
Yep.
In 2 hours.
In 2 hours. Like the fact that you're here right now, that you're opening a shop in 2 hours, and that you're putting this thing on Saturday, like that is a massive undertaking.
Hold my beer.
Yeah.
But also, I used to come in here. We used to pull all-nighters with Bob Dodge. Neither of us like to sleep. And I'd come in here for Tattoos Days in the mornings. Yeah. And we've been pulling all-nighters at the shop, and it's blissful.
Yeah.
Do you keep in touch with Bob?
Yeah, he's one of my dearest friends.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a sellout now. He's gone very domestic. He's got like kids and a family.
Picket fence, the whole thing?
He's a normie.
Is he?
Normie.
Is he out hedging and all that?
I saw him wearing a peach polo collar
What?
shirt.
No.
Bob Dodge.
No way.
And he was not doing it ironically.
Dude, I was at Runic Tattoo right before Christmas. And, he had a Santa Claus there. I was like, what happened to you?
Yeah.
Not
Honestly, he was always a little nutty, though.
But he did show me his sword. He had a new sword that he wanted. I was like, okay, there's Bob Dodge.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Bob
buddy.
Dodge should have a Krampus, not a Santa, right?
We've had a few talks about this.
Okay.
It's
Is he trying to bring you around, or are you trying to bring him back around?
I'm trying to bring
Because if you show up in a peach polo shirt, we know he's won.
He won. Yeah. But no.
He said one of the most interesting things on our show, and we've had a lot of interesting people. What is it, Press?
The human race is an unchecked herd.
Yeah.
I remember that. And that came out of nowhere. It was like, what did you just say?
That phrase lives rent free in my head.
The human race is an unchecked herd.
Yeah. I've seen people make distinctions between our behavior, because we started out as a hunter-gatherer species, and now we subsist more like a hive and sometimes like a herd.
Yeah.
Which is it's very interesting to watch societally how we affect each other in that way, which I think is why the events have gotten so big, because there was a different time. If you wanted to be different, if you wanted to look different, I hate to be that old that it's just like, I've done it since before it was cool. I've done it since you were hunted for sport, like the taxidermy over there.
Right.
Okay. And now there's a place where anybody who has any sort of an independent spirit or a uniqueness about them, the black sheep of their existence, has this city.
You're exactly right. There's a community. There's a camaraderie. There's a familial sense that's going on. It's cool and interesting without being overly commercial, and not that you don't want a bit of commerce, but it has all the things that you want, and so all the things that would be off-putting to people years ago are now, now I get it, now I understand it, and I think that's why you're having the success you're having.
I think so too. Yeah. And we all hate Walmart, but we all shop there.
It's true.
Let's not lie.
Their taxidermy selection is amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
Somebody made a meme of me a while ago because it was a terrible thing. I use isopropyl alcohol to fix stabilized wet specimens, and that just means
don't we all?
Dead thing in a jar, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so they made the meme that was like, "Don't be sketchy," and it showed me in a handlebar mustache with, I think it was probably 50 or 60, 70% isopropyls just in my shopping cart. And as I walked through the place, like some people, it was like, ha, and then there was a lot of people that were like, just kind of giving me a wide berth.
Right.
Of course, man.
I don't know. Does alcohol melt bodies? Like, what is this guy doing?
There's actually a thing called KOH. It's potassium potash, and you see it in movies. And essentially, if you were to put a tissue specimen, an entire casey in a 55-gallon barrel of that, 30% KOH, it would dissolve you into a pink pudding that you could just drop down the drain.
Is that like Breaking Bad?
It's what they're indicating in a lot of those. And it won't eat plastic.
When a cleaner shows up, like Harvey Keitel or whatever.
When the wolf comes to town.
Right.
In Breaking Bad, he made the mistake. Remember, he told him put it in a plastic tub.
That's right, not a tub.
And he ended up putting it in the bathtub because he thought it would eat through the plastic. And he's like, you idiot. It does not eat through plastic. It's the same stuff.
I'll try to make it quick, but I have a really cool wolf story, a Harvey Keitel story.
All right.
This guy is a two-headed cow, and I want to buy it. I don't have enough money. Two-headed cows are expensive.
Sure they are.
And,
of course.
And they're 90 pounds, and it was a pain. So what I did was I flew to Bismarck, North Dakota, and then I rented a car, drove 90 miles to go to this guy's house. And when I did it, I was completely premeditated. I had a suitcase within a suitcase. And when I got there, I took out my suitcase, and then I put the cow in the bigger suitcase in garbage bags. So then I could just calmly check into the hotel like nothing was wrong. I went to Walmart, bought a 6-foot table and painter's tarps. And I laid the tarps out like Dexter before Dexter was ever on there, rolled the windows down, cranked the AC, and watched Pulp Fiction while I prepped this thing, which, because you can't fly with a raw two-headed cow.
You can't?
You can take the skin off it and send it to the taxidermy. Then you have to flay the tissue, the meat, off of the bones, salt it, and send it to a beetle colony so that the beetles will eat it, they clean it, degrease it, and whiten it. So then you can have the articulated skeleton and the taxidermy next to each other so the viewer can see the internal and external anatomy of
Kathy,
the animal.
You writing all this down?
Yes.
Okay.
Take notes.
Just checking.
I'm assuming the
got
Beatles
it.
element is tough with
Yeah.
only Paul and Ringo.
Paul and Ringo left.
Yeah.
This is a new spring activity, Cap. Summer
We
activity.
can recap later. I've got everything.
Oh my God.
So you're doing all this in a hotel room?
So I did all this in the hotel room, and then when it was all done, I had wrapped it up, segregated in buckets, and there was 2 packages, one to go to the Beetle guy and one to go to the taxidermist, the salted prepped skin and the salted prepped flayed out bones.
Please tell me that you tip house cleaning generously. Okay.
Well, honestly, they should have tipped me, because once I Dextered this whole situation, it all folded up into one distinct bag, and then I Febrezed the room, and I walked out of there feeling like Harvey Keitel.
Yeah,
only
sure.
a little bit more off.
Of the bovine world.
Yeah.
You're the cleaner. You're the Harvey Keitel of the bovine world.
So now,
The
when
king
I,
of the freaks.
next time I go to a hotel, I'm going to go, okay, did anybody flay a two-headed cow in this room?
It's better than what Tom Segura says he does in them.
Yeah.
So, what's a little, they're fine too. Once the 2-headed cow is there and you take the meat off, that's delicious.
Well, where do we
Tender.
find this now? Do you have it? Do you still own this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I have one of the largest collections of real teratological specimens in private hands in the world.
Will these be on display at End of Times, which opens in less than 2 hours now?
Yeah, we've created an exhibit that's a slight upcharge. It's like 5 bones, but I'll give you your $5 back if it wasn't worth it when you go in that tent.
All right.
So it's a store and it's also a quasi-museum?
The End Times Boutique. Oh, sorry, I misunderstood the question. The End Times Boutique does have deformed specimens and an immersive element where you can scan a QR code that'll take you to a post that'll give you an explanation about medical wax moulages from the 1800s, or just we're explaining some of the not-for-sale items that every oddity shop has as an immersive element. So it's a free museum wrapped into a gift shop. But I've also have a traveling sideshow, freak show, that is the deformed exhibit, where the grotesque is made fascinating. And that'll be set up at the show on Saturday and every show in perpetuity as long as I'm still among the living.
And even after, I suspect.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So what was I want to plug the shop because it opens today. What's the location again of End of Times Boutique?
2152 East Dauphin, next to Circle Thrift in the beautiful Fishtown neighborhood.
Next to Circle Thrift. That's the
amazing.
best. That's the best.
Yeah.
You couldn't ask for better. There was a place that used to advertise. I told these guys on air, it was like, Club Goth, an experience of pain and torture, located 1/2 mile from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
We're also near Pizza Brain, if that's a little more.
Yeah. Pizza Brain. All right. Well, the event is Saturday. It's at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. It is woetothee.com to get your tickets. Woetothee.com. I'm sure we have links on PrestonandSteve.com. You can go there in case you can't remember the website, but get your tickets. And you're expecting huge crowds this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you know what? The amazing thing is, probably the oddest thing you're going to see when you go to it, and there's a ton of odd stuff, Jackie Bam Bam. There you go. Yeah.
One of the strangest things.
You'll definitely hear him. You can hear him from 1.5 miles over.
Oh, my God. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Adam, you are a very interesting guy.
Thank you.
Bless your heart, Preston.
No, I love hearing you speak. You've got such a wonderful way with words in describing this stuff, and you're a host of knowledge.
And you're the real deal.
Yeah.
I spent too much time with Bob Dodge, and this is what it did to my fragile little brain.
You're about a minute away from an Izod shirt.
Oh, my God. All right, make sure you check out the World Oddities Expo, Saturday, Pennsylvania Convention Center. And thank you for bringing your friends. We didn't get to meet them, Marissa, Jen, and Travis. They brought all the good stuff along with them, too. But
my peculiar entourage.
I love it. All right, let's hear for Adam Hunter, guys.
All right, guys, we've got cows to skin.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back in just a moment. Make sure you stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
Play. I love traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thank you, Kathy. We have another guest in our studio who's here this morning to talk about an event that is on the way that you shall enjoy. I'm certain of it. And it is the 3rd annual event. It is called the Autism Wings Talent Show and Fundraiser for individuals with autism or on the spectrum. And it's coming up on Sunday, and it will be at Plymouth White Marsh High School, 1 to 3. And we have a friend of the show. He's one of the comic book gurus, of course. Craig Legon.
Hey. Benicio del Toro.
And
Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem. Thank you.
Giovanni Ribisi.
Said it in a while. How you doing, man?
I'm great. Thank you so much for squeezing me in. I know this was last minute.
No, we're happy to help.
You were on last time to talk about this, and we thought it's a wonderful idea. It's a wonderful thing. It's so full of energy in the best of ways.
It is, Steve, and we this is our third year doing it, and it gets bigger every year. And I know it's not just for children with autism, but people on the spectrum. And we've increased the age from 5 to 21 plus. And when we say talent, it just anything, whatever makes them happy. Blowing bubbles, skipping rope. I told you about a girl we had, May. She's got Titanic facts out the wazoo.
Wow.
Amazing. There was a wonderful girl named Cecilia. She told 37 straight knock-knock jokes. Last year, you were talking earlier in the show about stuff that makes you cry. Last year, there was a kid named Joey Giovanici. I love saying that name. He sang the song from Sing 2, Your Song Saved My Life.
It's a great song.
Exactly. And then his 6-year-old sister, Gia, just walked out of the audience and came up on stage and started singing with him.
Oh,
and
my
I lost
goodness.
it. And
yes.
Every year I lose it on some type of moment, because even when you see kids making friends for the first time, or you see parents who are total strangers when the day starts, and by the end they're hugging each other and they're exchanging information.
It's awesome.
It is absolutely awesome. I thought of you, Preston. There was last year there was a kid named Caleb, 10 years old. He brought all of his drums on the stage, and I was helping him, and his father and me and him were and he played the drum solo from Def Leppard's The Wild and the Young. I hadn't heard that song in so long, and of course the song's older than he was, but he was killing it.
That's awesome.
I was like, he's 10?
Yeah. So it has classic elements of a talent show, plus very eclectic things like 20. Well, how many knock jokes in a row? That's awesome.
It's absolutely amazing. It's put together by the Black Cultural Awareness Club is helping us out. And they're at Plymouth White Marsh High School, and they're helping us to put it together. It is a fundraiser, so if you can't show up, whatever you can donate is great. You can go to autismwings.org to donate, and there's no auditions. You just show up and whatever you want to do.
So straight cold, you go in, you have a talent, you want to take the stage and show what you got. You just show up and you're good to go.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I was in 4th grade, I think, and we took a cruise to the Bahamas, and they had a talent show.
Yeah.
Where literally like that. It was a book. You went up, you signed your name, and you got up and you did your talent.
Yeah.
I got up and did a drum solo in front of all these drunk adults. It was at the bar.
Oh.
What's that?
Did they love it?
Yeah, I came in 3rd place.
Oh, yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
The knock joke person beat you, right?
Yeah, kicked my ass.
When I went to a tour of and they take a Harlem tour and you take a tour of the Apollo, they ask everyone in the tour group if you have any talent, if you want to come up on stage and rub the log and do whatever.
Wow. Doing the most demanding stages in the world.
Oh, yeah, no pressure at all. And you're just there for a tour, you just want to, like, oh, no, anyone want to come up, just, come on up. And I bombed.
So what time do you, if people want to perform, what time do you suggest they get there and get signed up?
I suggest they get there at noon, and the actual show's from 1 to 3, but it's so flexible, and we've had so many kids that are really excited about doing it. Then when they get there, they don't feel it. And then we've had kids that didn't want to do anything, but they saw all the other kids up there, and then I know what I can do. Yeah.
Is there a quote unquote winner, or is it just performances?
We're just there to have fun.
Okay, good.
We're just there to love everyone and love everything.
So with that, obviously, if people can't make it, is there an online component or way to donate to the organization?
Yes, autismwings.org.
Okay.
Go to that. It's run by my beautiful cousin, Angela Whittington Walden, who put all this together. And this is her baby. She's been sponsoring this for a year. She has her own Autism Wings mobile that she got up and running, and so
what does that do? What's the Autism Mobile?
It's just like a van you see the Winnebago you see on Road Rules, but it's all Autism Wings on the side, and it's for needs of children with autism or people on the spectrum, and it's just full of fun stuff inside, and it was parked outside last year when we did it, but the Autism Wings Mobile hopefully will go nationwide.
I love that.
Take it
And
cross country.
you guys, the comic book gurus, are going to be live at Fan Expo.
Yeah, next weekend is Fan Expo, the Woodstock for geeks, and we are doing our Comic Book Gurus live podcast Sunday, May 5th at 3 o'clock on room 125 on the lower stage.
You and Rockstar Rob and Steph.
And Steph, yeah.
All right. And so obviously there's also the Comic Book Gurus YouTube channel, which you're stuck with me producing. But there's some content up there if you want to subscribe, and new videos are going to be dropping soon, correct?
Yes, because it's a very busy summer for us. We got this Deadpool movie I heard about is coming out, and other great films like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It's the 85th anniversary of Batman.
Yeah.
So we have a live show, hopefully streamed, that we can talk about who our favorite Batman is and why it's Ben Affleck.
Nice.
I wanted to do just a quick social experiment, if you don't mind, P-Buds. I remember you said on this very show that your favorite character in all of film is Jimmy Dugan from The League of Their Own.
No, I think he's the greatest sports movie character of all time.
Greatest sports movie character.
Yes.
In that vein, I want to give you this because I want to say this. This is an official Jimmy Dugan.
Look at that.
It's a jersey.
Wow,
man.
Now,
Rockford Peaches, and on the back it says Dugan, number 43.
Now, I want to ask you something real quick, Preston. I just gave you that, right?
Yeah.
So if you wear this on the show and someone asks, hey, where'd you get that? And you'll say what?
I'll say, some black man gave it to me.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
Craig Ligons of the Comic Book Gurus gave it to me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See, because the last time I was here, I gave out shirts, and some people didn't seem to remember that I gave it to them.
Did I say something?
No.
I did.
What did you
Sorry.
say?
I got a cool shirt and I couldn't remember where I got it, and that's not at all Craig's fault. That's 100% my fault.
You wore it one day?
And I said, yeah, it was
At the Cardboard Classic.
Yeah.
And he's wearing the raisin shirt.
Publicly, Craig, I apologize to you, my friend, for not
Your black
remembering who
friend.
gave me that damn shirt.
That black man is Craig Ligons. I'll tell you this. I remember my Rockies. In fact, I'm wearing it in the new Window Nation commercial.
See that?
Yeah.
I love that shirt.
Yeah.
It's a great shirt.
And another thing.
And another thing. I love this.
Thank you, man. That's for you.
Thanks, bud.
Kathy, do you still have the Dirty Dancing shirt I gave you?
I do.
You didn't give it to Nick by any chance?
I didn't.
Okay, because I saw Nick wearing a Dirty Dancing shirt.
I have a Dirty Dancing shirt too, yeah.
Okay, I thought you... Okay.
No.
Wait, is
no.
it? He probably stole it from me.
Well, some black guy gave it to me. So.
No, it's the same damn black guy everywhere.
It's like the ABC van.
There goes that black guy.
No black guy strip out there.
Oh, my God. All right. The Autism Wings talent show, it is happening this Sunday, 1 to 3 p.m. at Plymouth White Marsh High School. And you can go to autismwings.org. We'll post the information you need on our website. So,
Great.
Thank you.
great work, Craig. Thanks for coming by.
Of course, I love you guys.
Craig Ligons this morning.
Black guy again.
All right. I think so. We're looking at the schedule tomorrow, and things are starting to look a little bit busy. So I would. Are you guys okay if we do the junk drawer today?
We should. I think by law we have to do
All right,
it.
fire it up.
It's the junk drawer. Preston's cleaning out his junk drawer. Getting things out of his junk drawer. Finding stuff here in the junk drawer.
Oh, let me see what we have in here. All right, so I'm going to start actually with an email, believe it or not, that I have in my junk drawer.
Wow.
And this is from Lindsay Falcone. She says, good morning, it. Not sure if you remember the pregnant lady from the Galentine's Day Friendship Bracelet Party that won the Journey tickets.
Yes.
She says, well, let me introduce you to Wyatt Michael, born on April 18th, 8 pounds, 8 ounces, 21 inches long. She said, I can't thank the Preston and Steve Show podcast for being there to listen to while in the hospital.
I'm surprised the baby's not named Steve Perry.
And she says, can you work your magic to get a Preston and Steve onesie in the rock shop at some point in time? We'll work on that,
That's
Lindsay.
actually a good idea, yeah.
But I wanted to congratulate her. I thought that was
is awesome.
really, really nice. And that was a fun party. And it was hilarious when she won.
Yeah, she was good.
The pregnant gal, yes. It was excellent. So, all right, let me see what else we got here in the junk drawer. All right, in January of this year, This is an interesting one. A member of the Missouri State Senate has proposed a motion that, if passed, would reintroduce dueling as a means for politicians to resolve personal disputes.
So, I'm kind of down with this.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it might be kind of fun to watch politicians go at each other.
In an amendment, Republican Nick Schorer longed to return to a bygone time when, quote, if a senator's honor is impugned by another senator to the point that it is beyond repair, such senator may rectify the perceived insult to the senator's honor by challenging the offending senator to a duel. If approved, the amendment would add a new chapter to the long and bloody history of political dueling in America. And in the years leading up to the Civil War, many U.S. political duels were fought over disputes concerning the future of slavery. In an 1859 duel between abolitionist U.S. Senator David C. Broderick and David S. Terry, a pro-slavery former Chief Justice of the California Supreme Court, is often called the last notable American duel. And it ended with Broderick shot in the chest after a misfire. Broderick passed away from his wound 3 days later. His funeral in San Francisco attracted thousands of spectators. Dueling was already starting to fall out of fashion by that time, with more than 18 states outlawing the practice by 1859. The public's appetite for dueling was further quelled by the bloodshed of the Civil War. But if the Missouri senator has his way, the tradition might resurface once more. Not holding my breath on that one.
No, I would say if you really want your bang for your buck, skip the firearms and go with sabers. That's what you want.
There you go.
Like, we should be able to, like, remember getting called out in grade school?
I call you out.
Yeah.
You should be able to call people out.
You should be able to call people out. Well, you can actually do all right, but we're going to go into a boxing ring and we're going to fight because I want to fight you.
I want to fight you. Frank Rizzo.
Yeah.
I want to shoot you.
Yeah.
I want to fight you.
People are doing backyard fights and stuff like that all the time, and a lot of times it's guys that don't have any beef with each other. Like, if you had a beef with somebody, wouldn't you just love to?
Do you remember?
Up?
No, not if they were a lot bigger and tougher than me.
Well, no.
You know
obviously, you pick smaller people to beat up.
Right.
And if somebody calls you out that you're afraid
you think
of,
you're a
say
big
no.
man in that wheelchair.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Without question, because there can be somebody who's being a total a-hole.
Pussy, I call you out.
And they clearly are going to physically have a better shot at kicking your ass than you're kicking their ass.
Did you ever get called out in school?
No.
Oh,
yeah,
thank
for a
God.
fight?
Oh, my
Twice.
God.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Twice?
One.
Did you accept it?
I accepted both.
Okay.
One never happened because we were both like, oh,
Yeah.
And then the next one happened, and the guy that 2-3 swings that never landed from both of us, and we became friends after that.
There you go.
Yeah, it's like the classic scenario.
Yep.
Because you're both like, everyone's looking at you, and you're like,
Yeah.
And now suddenly you guys have a common bond.
Right.
What are we going to do?
Yeah. So if you were, like, back in the day, called to a duel, challenged to a duel, you didn't have to accept.
No, you could refuse it. But, and as I was reading in that article,
send your wife.
The shame of turning it down was more of a blow to your honor than whatever they did to dishonor you.
Okay.
Or, so it was considered, craven, yellow, whatever you want to call it.
You know what they call you the
whatever.
greatest insult? A politician.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So people, even rather than deal with the shame of saying no to the duel, even though it could cost you your life, people would accept it and go through with it.
It was such a sense of honor.
But I guess if you're talking about using firearms,
yeah,
the playing field is a little more leveled as
Even,
opposed to a fist fight or something like that.
I want to fight you.
I want to fight you.
Or you could
I want
also
to fight you.
to kiss the person too.
Oh,
yeah.
You could do that too. So I thought that was kind of bizarre that this guy wants to bring back duels here in our country. All right, let's see what else. In a completely different story, The annual Traveler's Choice Best of the Best Awards for Hotels has come out.
The best of the best hotels.
Yeah, the travel site analyzes millions of reviews on their site from 2023 for quality and quantity to come up with their list. So for 2024, they have the top hotels in the U.S. and top hotels in the world.
Does it go by cockroach count because you have 2 new entries?
Yeah, I'd be way up there. Yeah. For this year, the top hotel in the United States is the Shore Hotel in Santa Monica, California.
I think. Okay.
You want me to describe it to you?
Yeah, please.
My friend stayed here.
Okay, the eco-friendly boutique hotel. I don't like boutique hotels.
I like
offers ocean views, and travelers love the hotel's modern feel, premium amenities, and personal attention from staff.
Yes, my friend stayed here when she was out there. Said it was, incredible.
I'm sure
she
it
was
is.
traveling with
Can you show me some pictures?
She was traveling with someone who just stays at the top of the top place.
Has the money.
I don't think
place like this.
I stayed at a place. We took a long vacation, and we did. This is when we did the Pacific Coast Highway, Preston. That trip. That wherever I stayed was where Selma Hayek came in to have lunch while we were in the restaurant.
Shutters.
Shutters. That's it, Nick. Thank you.
That's also in Santa Monica.
Their pictures on their website though don't really do.
They
it.
don't sell it?
No.
Maybe they want it that way.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could be right.
Say away.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of? I saw a similar list, Preston, and it was the top luxury hotels in the world. And there's one in Philly that I've never heard of. Marissa probably has, called the Yowie Hotel. YOWIE.
Is this the place right up here on City Line? Right?
The motor lodge.
The motor lodge.
Yeah.
Where
Redone.
there's always a cop car in front
It's
of it.
not that one, Steve. Apparently it's in Queen Village.
Well, so Nick, I saw the same article on PrestonandSteve.com, so I went to look at it, and I realized where it is. It's on South Street. Do you guys know where that farmer's market used to be, right off of Head House Square at 3rd and South?
Yeah. Yep.
So it's right across the street. It's pretty much like an old apartment building. Okay. This is kind of a trend that's happening around major cities. There's one of these in Fishtown,
So this is
the Mulherns people. So they just renovate
It's
old
boutique.
condo buildings and make these boutique hotels.
And have you been inside?
No.
Okay.
No, but there's a storefront on the bottom that has, I don't know, knickknacks and bric-a-brac
And Patty Wax.
stuff like that. It's actually down the street from Patty Wax, guys.
It's so perfect.
That's right. Patty Wax is down there.
Live band karaoke every Saturday night.
Oh, my God.
You know what, though? I'm looking at I'm checking the prices for these places, and they're not, it's not crazy. So I don't know.
Okay.
So,
I
Kath,
don't know about this list.
well, Kath, I think prices aren't crazy, but availability is tough.
No, I'm
that's it.
looking right now at this Shore Hotel I can book for this weekend if I want.
Really? How much? You want to go?
If I said yes, you would hop on a flight. You'd get us flights.
Let's do it.
Maris, one of them, $159 for the night.
159 for a night at supposedly one of the most phenomenal hotels in the world.
Wait, no, hold on. That's for frontline workers. I'm not a frontline worker.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I'm a veteran.
Wow. And this article on PrestonandSteve.com on the website, the 21C Museum Hotel in St. Louis is their #1 best new affordable luxury hotel. I find that, wow, okay. That's
Is it
surprising.
on our site?
It is.
Then it has to be 100% correct.
Well, no, I'm sure the article is correct, but it's okay.
My guess is that hotel hired some really good PR people to put their name out there.
So when you're traveling, I think an obvious reliable go-to in the chain realm is like the Marriott's, obviously, and then the Bonvoy points and everything. Where there are hotels that I really like that if, the Fairmount Hotels. And I think that's a Canadian company.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
They're incredible. Price, wait, real quick. This one in Philly, ranging from $140 a night to just above two something, $230.
Dude, I paid that for the Cockroach
I know.
Motel in St. Petersburg.
Let me ask you, how was the continental breakfast?
I don't know, but the hooker was there bright and early in the morning across the street.
I mean, what a dump.
All right, so the #1 hotel in the world is Hotel Colline de France in Gramado, Brazil. The 34-suite boutique hotel is known for its personalized service and has been in the top 5 on the best hotels list for the past 3 years. So here are the top ones in the United States, okay? So I mentioned the Shore Hotel. That's
Right.
#1. Then you have the Luma Hotel Times Square. Five Pine Lodge and Spa, which is in Sisters, Oregon.
Sisters.
Okay.
Then you have the Bryant Park Hotel in New York. It says New York, so I assume it's Manhattan. Hotel Emma is in San Antonio, Texas. That's also the number one luxury hotel in the United States.
The number one luxury hotel is there?
Yeah, this is TripAdvisor's top 10 hotels in the U.S. Number 6, the Luttrell in Charleston, South Carolina.
The Luturks.
The Harry Donut. Number 7, the Lot Hotel in Seattle. Number 8 is the Four Seasons Hotel in Chicago. Number 9 is the Ironworks Hotel in Indianapolis.
Chicago!
Yep.
Chicago!
It's the Ironworks Hotel Indy. And then number 10 is the San Antonio Marriott River Center.
That's 2 in San Antonio?
On the Riverwalk, yeah.
What
I guess
the
so.
who?
Yeah.
Who and the why?
So those are the top ones in the United States.
That honestly blows my mind that you have 2 in San Antonio and you don't have some, like one in Los Angeles or one in...
Yeah, it's a good point.
You know, I mean, what about Miami?
Yeah. In the world, the TripAdvisor top 5 hotels in the world, number 5 is the Iberostar Grand Packard in La Habana, Cuba.
We stayed in an Iberostar.
Yes, we did. I think it had just opened up.
The Aduana Sueta in Bali, Indonesia. The La Siesta Hoi An Resort and Spa in Hoi An, Vietnam. The Ablu Select Lobejili.
Yes, it's right next to the Grand Famunda.
Is in the Maldives, in Malay. And then the number one hotel in the world, according to TripAdvisor, is Hotel Colline de France in Gramado, Brazil. So I'd already mentioned that earlier.
Yeah. Gramado, Brazil.
Yeah.
I am not familiar.
I do like a good hotel.
Listen,
we were talking about that just the other day.
That is your best bet. Spend on the hotel wherever you're going because at least you will have that.
Yep.
If it turns out, and ask for a room without cockroaches ahead of time.
Please do check on there.
The Maldives and the Seychelles are a bucket list for me, Steve. I know, like for you, it's Japan, but at some point before I die, I have to get to one or both of those, and it takes a long time to get there. You got to fly through like Dubai or some Cairo or whatever, but they're just so unbelievably beautiful. And a lot of those hotels, including the one you described, Preston, they're those hotels that are like out over the water. And
right.
I don't even know how they have. Like, how do they get amenities to places like that, Yeah,
because they usually have, I think they usually have a resort that goes along with it. So, like, you can go and you can stay at over the water, but they also have a resort. So you kind of go back there for your food and drinks and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But even like plumbing and, fresh water.
Crap in the
just crap in the ocean?
That adds to why it's so expensive.
Yeah.
It costs, I would imagine, the maintenance
The
costs
infrastructure,
a lot.
yeah.
Getting supplies to them cost a lot of money.
They literally come out to you in boats and they have, that's what they do. But
there's a place like this where you can stay in bungalows over the water in, I believe it's Jamaica. And I've looked into it like a number of times, but it's booked for like 3 years in advance. So you have to like really plan ahead and commit to it.
So one of the places we are going to get to, my wife got a freestanding offer of a reservation.
Work with a guy named Jeff who works in our traffic department. Just met his daughter. I think her name is Claire.
Very good.
Who is that, Daddy?
The fourth Thursday in April is always the Take Your Daughters or Sons to Work Day. Designed to be more than a career day, the holiday enables children to work together with parents, mentors, and educators to strengthen the connections between education and the workplace.
Is there a suggested or a perceived age limit? Could you take your 32-year-old son to work?
I think you could if you really wanted to. By the way, while the Ms. Foundation for Women founded this holiday in 1993 to give young girls an insight into workplace opportunities, it was such a success that boys were entered into the program 10 years later in 2003.
I think it's a great idea. Years ago, when we could get away with stuff like this, we did bring your daughters to our work.
We did do that.
That's right.
My dad, when I was a kid, he took me to work one day. And I thought it was really
It's the coolest.
I loved it. And my dad was an accountant. He was an internal audit for the Monsanto Chemical Company. So not a sexy job at all. But I had a great time just going and having lunch with him at the work, lunchroom.
They called my dad Baba Yaga. No, he actually was a salesman, but it actually tied into Preston the first time I ever had a plane flight. So we went away, like you do with your kids, where you kind of do something special. So he would go on a business meeting and show me work, and we went up to Boston, actually. It was very cool.
My dad was a truck driver, and it wasn't a take your kid to work day. It was more like
put your kid to work.
No. It was more like we can't leave him at home by himself. Ride with me in the car. But I did that a couple of different times. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
And you it's cool to see. I remember being very impressed with. I didn't understand what was going on. I went into a factory that made glass or windows or something like that, and it was like, oh, that's what Dad does.
I will say though, the only bummer though, the truck that my dad drove, it didn't have one of those things.
Oh,
I know. Just sit there and go,
even a truck.
I know it was a truck. It definitely was a truck. You definitely needed a CDL to drive it, air brakes and all that. But
where's the horn?
Didn't have an air horn.
Didn't have the.
Just had a meep meep.
It had a meep meep.
Honky honky.
Yeah, it had more of like a.
Oh. Well, anyhow, that is indeed today. Hang on a second here.
Wait.
I want to go to Nick, who's on the line. Nick, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
So today, you mentioned on the radio that it's Bring Your Son to Work Day, and I actually have my son with me today doing maintenance on elevators.
Oh,
now that's a cool gig.
Yeah. There's a lot of ups and downs in that industry.
Hey!
No, how old is he, by the way, Nick?
He's 10.
Oh, that's really cool.
That is awesome.
Have you ever taken him? Have you ever done this before with him?
Nope, this is the first time out.
Awesome. Is he having a good time?
Yeah.
That is terrific.
All right.
Yeah.
Nick, thanks for sharing. We appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. See you later.
Do you know what I would teach him to do? If my son, if I was an elevator repairman, I would teach him how to be up on top of the elevator and with a broom handle push the floor number so that when you've eventually killed a terrorist and put him into the elevator.
Oh, yes.
So that you could send it down.
You could do that.
Right.
Very, very smart.
You don't know. I saw it in the movie.
You can do that with a serial killer, too.
If I ever went to work with my dad, the only thing I would learn would be new curse words.
So
let me tell you about Janis Joplin.
You can it says here, celebrate the day by bringing your son, daughter, or other young person into your workplace to explore the different career choices.
I think I'm going to grab a kid out of
Just
the mall
grab a
today.
young person. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mommy, I'm taking him my work.
All right. Let's see what else we got. We're in the junk drawer this morning, by the way. All right, I thought this was, I'm going to follow up a nice story with another nice story, but I wanted to pass this along. I think this is a great idea. With thousands of inmates in the Washington state prison system also being parents, one prison is trying a new approach to help incarcerated fathers connect with their children. The Stafford Creek Correction Center in Aberdeen has introduced video games as a way for dads in the system and their kids to bond during
so they
visits.
can go online and sort of.
No, not online. This is when they come for a visit.
Oh, I see.
They actually get to sit down
side by side. Wow.
and they get to play with them. So
I thought you were talking about like online. Yeah,
I thought the same thing. But no, they can actually do it in person. For inmates like Kager York, who's serving a lengthy sentence, the gaming zone installed at Stafford Creek a few months ago gives him a chance to have a relationship with his son that he never had with his own father. York cherishes the opportunity to spend time with his wife and kids in a setting that feels somewhat normal despite the prison environment.
So is it set up in the general population, or do they have a special area set aside for it?
It's probably set aside.
Yeah. Come to my cell, son.
Yeah.
What I thought you were going to say is there's a show, I think it's on Netflix, pretty sure. I watched a couple of episodes of it, but same thing. They go into a prison and they try a new approach. I forget where it was, but it was a prison where the inmates were locked down for 23 hours a day and they were only let out for an hour.
Wow.
And they basically said when you keep animals caged, when they're let out, they're going to act like animals. So they took this new approach of opening their doors, their cell doors, and leaving the doors open. And,
how did that work?
Well, you saw they basically tried to police it themselves, and the older inmates sort of tried to take over. So there were fights and things like that. So that's kind of where I left off. I don't know, how it ended, but basically they said one mess up and that's it. You're all back in.
The end goal is if you can help turn if you can turn them around and give them a better start when they leave and give them hope and.
Well, that's what in the show. That's what one of the inmates said. He said, instead of doing this, shouldn't you be helping us get ready to go back out into the world? And he said, that's what we're doing by doing this.
And it's not an easy answer. You got to teach these people a lesson. But then again, you have to do it in the right way, or it's counterproductive.
What are you doing?
And they've got to try things like this out and see, does it work? Does it not work? On paper, it seems like a good idea. I don't know.
Kathy, would you allow
Stop it.
prisoners to join you?
I know. I don't know.
For your search for activities.
What activities can I get into? By the way, it is on Netflix and it's called Unlocked.
Okay. Before we go to the next item, I want to go to Amy. We're going to double back to bring your kids to work day. Hi, Amy. Good morning.
Good morning. And since we're doing a throwback, I'm going to say I jigga on it.
Oh my God!
That is well done.
On it.
Well done, Amy.
All right, so you're going to remind us of something, and what is that?
Yes. So I was one of those mothers that brought their hot daughters to your work day. I will say she was 18 or close to it. But
so that was
we made sure that they were at least 18 years old. Yes.
And I just want to say how much that was a good influence on her.
Oh, no. What is her life like now?
No, she's doing great.
Oh, that's great.
That's why people bring them to work. So, she's had her moments, but she's doing fine.
Did she by any chance do anything that gravitated towards communications or anything like that?
She's done a little bit of everything. The last was a phlebotomist, and now she's a stay-at-home mom. So.
Oh, well, there you go.
How old is she now, Amy?
She will be 35 in May.
There you go.
Oh, my God.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Wow. We'll give her our best, Amy. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you.
Take care. We'll see you
I
later.
like how she said she was 18 or close to it.
Close to it.
God.
Wow. All right. I know we can get at least one more of these in here. Do you want to hear about a beauty treatment or a social media thing or nature?
Beauty.
Okay. We'll let Kathy choose.
Influencers are slapping banana peels on their faces, claiming that it gives them a natural Botox effect.
Banana peels?
If it does, I'm going to have bananas all over my face.
One content creator who made the face fruit go viral is makeup artist Katie Jane Hughes, who posted a video of herself trying the trend, saying that it made her skin feel softer and her face more snatched.
I can't talk right now. I have bananas on my face.
And it snatched her face.
It snatched my face. It made my face look like my snatch.
However, snatch is a great word.
It is.
Yeah. It ranks up there with pud.
Pud and snatch.
However, doctors aren't so convinced by this trend, saying there's no scientific evidence to suggest that rubbing a banana peel on your face is going to help with wrinkles or inflammation.
So think about the nature of viral media. And you go on TikTok, you go on with your banana peel treatment. You've got, if it stays up, if you get a couple of million hits on it, if it happens to catch fire, the damage has been done. You have your notoriety, and there you go.
Well,
and a certain group of people will probably always believe it.
Will always believe it.
Well, yeah. So it's people who are more into the natural ingredients of it. So this didn't come out of nowhere. It's because of the vitamins in the peel.
Well, yes. Okay. Banana peels do contain antioxidants.
Yeah.
But the benefits are so small, you likely won't notice them, according to a doctor.
That's why chimps look so good.
But despite the skepticism from the medical community, social media users are raving about the banana peel hack, with one claiming their grandmother used it and had 0 wrinkles.
What the hell are you doing to me? Shut up, you
lay
bitch.
down.
Lay down. I swear to God, I'll hit you if you get up. What are you doing?
Doctors,
take him off my face.
Doctors say the skin benefits of banana peels are minimal at best, And you are better off investing in proven anti-aging products like vitamin C serums.
What do you use, Kathy?
Okay, well,
for
I
your
was just going to tell you. So,
internally young-looking skin.
So I go to Dermatology Associates of Plymouth Meeting. I've told you guys this before.
Yes, you rave about them.
Yes, and I work with Dr. Sadie there, and she added a vitamin C into my routine. I'm pretty like basic. I just have a moisturizer, a wash, and that was pretty much
kitty litter.
No, and I said that was pretty much it. So I said to her, there's all these things out there. What should I be using? And she was like, vitamin C. Just add vitamin C. I'm not kidding you. Like, the difference in my skin is crazy. Now, also there are, different levels of pricing for vitamin C's. Of course, I bought the one that was probably the most expensive before I knew you could just go to CVS or Target and find one.
You're rubbing it on, or you're taking it as a supplement?
No. It goes with your moisturizer.
Okay.
You can combine the two and just put it on your face. Yeah, it's a serum.
You combine this serum into whatever moisturizer you're already using.
I do, yes.
And
what is the
rub it
moisturizer?
all over your face?
Yes.
What is the
just
moisturizer?
your face?
My chest, my neck, and my hands.
Okay. All right. Any area that you don't want wrinkling in?
Well, I mean, we're a little past the.
I know the forehead.
But,
That's yes. That's got its own. Yeah.
It just all over. It just gives like an overall. I feel like
Your lady parts?
No, shut up. This sounds crazy, but really, it like almost gives my skin like a glow.
Yes.
Okay.
And it makes it smooth. The makeup goes on smoother. Because you start to see as you age with the wrinkles, the makeup will like set in the creases and things like that. So I've seen a difference with that.
I went out to dinner and drinks with Kathy when we were in Clearwater, and my fiance came along, and they got on the skincare routine conversation for a stretch. And
she's going to go see Dr. Sadie.
She absolutely is. Everything that you said to her, Kathy, made a serious impact. We have had follow-up conversations, actually. I've sat there and Andrea has spoken to me, and I've listened to what she had. There's not a lot of conversation going on. But anyway, she was raving about your skincare routine, and she wants to go see this lady.
Well, she has a mark on her face, same
like
as I had,
sunspot.
a sunspot.
Yeah.
And I tried for years different things to get rid of it. And there's a laser called the Pico Shore laser, and it took this sunspot
Hey,
off.
we're watching the video now.
And it's stayed off so far, so good.
Yeah.
You have to watch when you go back into the sun.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you have sunscreen on, and she recommends like put a hat and try not to get any sun on it. But
I wonder what happened to that hideous deformity.
and Steve, it was on the side that you could see.
I know,
So now
it was
you can
upsetting.
See, now
Yeah.
you can see it's gone.
No, Kathy, that's awesome.
All right. So try that instead of the banana peels.
Okay.
And maybe you'll be in a better place. Hey, I thought this would be nice. Marissa said that Casey was talking about Jeff and on our staff.
Yes.
Brought his daughter Claire to work today. Let's put her on the radio.
Oh.
So this is Claire. Hi, Claire.
Oh my God, I love her.
How old are you, Claire?
7.
You're 7 years old. So what grade are you in?
Second.
You're in second grade. Awesome. Have you ever been to Dad's work before?
One time when I was like 3.
Oh,
One
wow.
time we saw
That was a
way
while
back then.
And was it while other people were working, or was it when the office was empty? Do you remember? Or you don't remember, do you?
I don't know.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So what do you...
It was when all that famous construction was going on here.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, and so she was here when we were in the temporary space, so she didn't get to see all of this.
Okay.
Wow.
What does your dad do here? Yeah.
It's okay. We don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know either. We see him all the time. We just don't know what he does.
Do you have an idea of what I do?
What have you
Well,
seen?
you used to schedule the commercial.
I used to schedule the commercials.
There you go. Well done.
Well done.
Yes.
That's our content manager.
Do you think seeing what your
No,
dad...
traffic manager. What am I talking about?
Do you think seeing what your dad does, you would want maybe to do something like this or radio or whatever?
Yeah. Okay.
So no school at all today?
No school.
What are you gonna tell your teachers when you go back tomorrow?
Well,
Get off my back.
I don't know.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you say your teacher's name, and then you can bring the recording to school with you, and you'll probably get all A's in your report card.
That's right.
Yeah. What's your teacher's name?
Miss Carnes.
What is it? Say it a little louder.
Miss Carnes.
Miss Carnes.
Carnes. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
What's your favorite TV show to watch nowadays? Do you like Bluey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were just talking. Did you see the new episode?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Awesome. And so they had said that was going to be the last one, but it turns out, no, they're going to do more.
They're doing a new one called Breaking Bluey.
Wait, what?
Don't listen to Steve. That guy over there, don't pay attention to anything he says ever.
It's all wrong.
Yeah.
What do you like about Bluey?
I don't know. It's just funny.
Funny.
Yeah, good.
Good.
Good. You're completely adorable. It's no big shock.
I mean, I was in there and I saw the chessboard.
Yeah.
And one episode of Blue is actually called Chest.
Ah.
And Bingo called the castle pieces Castle Head.
Castle head. I love it. Wow, you have is your hair kind of a reddish color? It's hard to tell from here.
Well, it's like strawberry.
Strawberry blonde, right?
blonde, all right.
Does your mom have the same color hair?
No, it's just, Mom's hair is like orangish.
And Dad doesn't have that either.
How well do you know the mailman?
What?
Oh my God!
No, nothing.
Claire,
nothing,
thank you so
nothing.
much for joining us in the studio this morning.
Are you looking forward to summer?
Yeah.
I mean, you probably only have 4 or 5 weeks left of school, so.
Wow.
I don't want to leave school.
Oh my gosh!
Give it time.
Do you have any
Give it time.
any plans for summer? Like any camps or vacations coming up?
Yeah, we're gonna
You can say.
we're gonna go to summer camp, and in July, June and July, I'm gonna start cheer camp.
Cheer camp.
Yeah, and then
That's terrific.
yeah, but it's only for like a couple of days, and then in July we're gonna go on vacation to Wildwood.
Oh, so do you know that Kathy here was a cheerleader?
I was.
Yeah.
I've done it for like 2 years now.
Now, Kathy, this is the same
Shut
term.
up, Dad.
We're at the high school track, and for the high school football game.
Okay.
I'm usually at the PB football game to cheer there, but we got teamed up with our buddies to go
To the high school. That's
Wait,
cool.
did you say the PV?
Pee Wee,
Oh, Pee Wee. I was thinking Perk Valley. Where do you go? What's the name of your school?
Oakview.
Oakview. And where is that?
That's West Deptford.
Stepford.
West Deptford.
West Deptford, New Jersey.
Put the
Okay.
headphones on.
Look at this.
She is a producer in the making.
I've only been in this industry for 13 years. You'd think I'd know that.
Put your headphones on.
Your daughter has to hold you to account.
I love this gal. Oh my God. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
No.
Okay. All right. One and done, Dad?
One and done.
Okay. Well, you got yourself a gem right
The
there.
mailman delivers every day. So.
Yeah, it does. All right. Well, listen, Claire, it was nice to meet you. Enjoy, take your child to work day today and have fun here at WMMR, okay?
Yeah. Oh wait, there's a picture of me at Wildwood.
Yeah, there are more pictures.
More pictures of her.
There's ice cream in the freezer.
We have ice cream.
There's that was Wildwood.
That was
That's
Wildwood.
West Wildwood, and she's reading a Ramona Quimby book.
Yeah, I already finished that one.
All right.
We got
to take a break. We got to do
scheduled the
promotion. We
commercial.
got to do here.
Yeah.
Claire, take care. It was nice to meet you. We'll see you later. All right, wrap up the junk drawer, Casey. All right, we got to do
That
this.
was the junk drawer.
Yep.
Preston's closing up his junk drawer. There's nothing left here in the junk drawer. Until next time, that was the junk drawer.
All right. With a special guest, Claire, in our junk drawer. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back in a second. We got the beef file on the way. We got $1,000 word for you, and we have another guest. Stay put. We'll be right back. Stone Temple Palace, 93.3 WMMR. And roll me under. It is, it's after 10. It's 1 minute after 10, and I think you know what that means.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia.
It's time for a Good Money It keyword.
All right, the keyword is grateful. Grateful. And you have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter that. 3 ways to enter grateful. WMMR.com. You can do the MMR app, or you can text it to the special contest short code number we have set up. It's 45911. One random entry will win $1,000 in our company-wide contest, and each winner gets a call from Beasley. Make sure you answer your phone. There are contest rules available at WMMR.com, and it is brought to you by McLaughlin Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. So again, the word is grateful, Grateful. You want to enter that now. We're going to take one last look at traffic. So let's see what's going on. Kath, what you got for us?
A Burlington-Bristol bridge opening is scheduled for 10:10 this morning, so another 8 minutes, and that bridge should be coming up. On 95 southbound, your jammed Academy to Cotman, the left lane closed with construction. The Vine westbound is still jammed the length from 95 to the Schuylkill. Heavy on the Schuylkill eastbound, the Boulevard to South Street. Westbound also heavy, Passyunk to South Street. And then on the Blue Route southbound, you're jammed from the Schuylkill Coastal Expressway out to Villanova. There's a roving crew blocking 2 of the left lanes. Northbound is heavy 95 to the Media bypass. And then in New Jersey, it looks like you've cleared out 295, 42, 55, and all of the bridges right now looking good. This traffic report brought to you by Macy's. Macy's Centerton Square is now open. Stop by for fun events and check out top designers in the all-new Macy's Centerton Square. New space, new vibe. More at Macys.com/new stores. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by the Bagster.
Yeah.
Yes, you can buy yours now at any home improvement store. Just $29.99. You fill it up, they pick it up on your schedule. The Bagster, dumpster in a bag. Buy, fill, gone. We'll start with this. When Japan's Osaka Tennoji Zoo took in a hippopotamus named Gen-chan 7 years ago, they were told the young animal was a male. Well, recently they took a DNA test and found out the mammal is actually a female. You would think a rhinoceros would have a big swinging member, right?
Right.
They didn't know.
They have microphallus?
I don't know about that. In a post to their website, the zoo said that Jen Chan came to the zoo from Mexico's
Go ahead, make fun.
African safari in 2017. When they took the hippo in, Mexico zoo officials and transfer documents all indicated it was a male. The animal was only 5 years old at the time, the zoo said, and was still a child. We had no doubts. That was until zookeepers noticed Jen Chan was not displaying behaviors typically associated with male hippos. And one
throw pillows or something?
One of the most typical behaviors, and I didn't know this, of male hippos, for example, is whipping their tails in a propeller-like motion while defecating to mark their territory.
Like to spread it around. It's adorable.
It's like
I do that.
It's like essing on a fan. Like a fan that's blowing the crap all over the place.
You like that?
That's one of the most typical behaviors.
No wonder the female hippos go crazy.
And Jen Chan did not do that. The hippo also failed to make courtship calls to females. And caretakers were never able to
kiss me?
identify any male genitalia. And that's when they decided to order a DNA test to find out what was going on and discover that Jen Chan is actually a female. And while her sex will be switched on documents, the 12-year-old hippo's name will not be changing. So, didn't know that.
It's amazing that you figured that they would be able to discern this, and even it eludes them.
Yep. All right, in Iowa, Nevada, sheriffs are investigating AI-generated explicit photographs of students that have been circulating in the Nevada high school. Parents are worried that no one will be held accountable. They say investigators told them there is probably little they can do because Iowa's criminal code is not yet clear on the laws surrounding creating and distributing explicit AI photos like the ones in this particular case.
I would think that it's spreading them around. I think that's right. That's the issue. I mean, you could be the pervert you want to be and generate those pictures for yourself, like with porn, for example, right?
Well, but these are underage students, so that's where
child porn. Then,
not yet, not according to this. So, Chad Borwick, whose child is one of the high schoolers whose image was altered to make them appear naked in the photographs that were posted to social media, said, "Our daughters are being victimized, and it doesn't seem like there's anything we can do about it." He said it spread like wildfire. It spread throughout our high school.
Yeah, you can't have that.
Senator Chris Cornier led a bill through the Iowa Senate this session that was signed by the governor just last week, making it a felony to create media of minors or their likenesses engage in a sex act or fully or partial nudity, but that does not go in effect until July 1st. So eventually it's going to happen, but right now, technically it's not illegal. The school district says that they have turned over the investigation to law enforcement and no disciplinary actions will be taken until that investigation is complete.
That's freaky.
Yeah. Police found a pregnant woman and her car covered in spaghetti after a road rage incident on the northwest side of Indianapolis Saturday evening.
I don't know. He looked like Chef Boyardee.
According to police, a woman called 911 saying a driver had flashed a gun at her during a road rage incident. The woman told police that she was turning right when the other driver made a left turn in front of her.
You think the gun would get it done?
The woman shouted at the other driver, who she claims then brake checked her. She made it around to the other driver, who she said then showed her a silver gun and followed her. The woman told police she was too scared to stop at her house, so she circled around and called police. The woman, who also had her 3 children in the car with her, said that the other driver took a container of spaghetti and threw it, covering her car and her. She
Wow.
also claims that the other driver sideswiped her car at the same time. She claims that she tried to get the other driver to give insurance information, and the other driver was again holding a gun and pointing it toward her. The driver of the other car claimed that the woman hit her car, and she was simply following it to get a picture of the license plate.
See, this is where I think the bags of spaghetti would come in handy.
Yes.
Police arrested Sheila Pride of Indianapolis, and she is charged with intimidation and pointing a firearm. And then we'll do one more story and wrap it up. While on his delivery route in Seymour, Wisconsin, UPS driver John Strnad,
Wow.
S-T-R-N-A-D, Strnad, witnessed a cow struggling during labor at KJ Farms.
Man, that could have been an utter catastrophe.
It could have been. Drawing on his farm upbringing, he assisted in the calf's birth, ensuring its survival by clearing its airways and stimulating it until it showed signs of life. The farm owners were not present at the time, so Strnad informed them of his actions, which led them to humorously inquire about the, quote, color of the box in which the calf was delivered. Does anybody get that?
Probably pink.
It's in parentheses, or I'm sorry, it's in quotations.
I don't
It says,
get that.
color of the box in which the calf was delivered. Must be farm humor.
Yeah.
The
This is a
family.
much better guy than the guy yesterday who was fisting a horse.
It's a better story than that. Maybe.
Yeah.
The family was appreciative of Strnad's help and named the calf Joni after him.
You're a good man, Mr. Nads.
Oh, his name is John. They plan to showcase her at the local county fair this
How
June.
about that?
How about that?
It's a
And
happy outcome.
They did avoid an utter catastrophe, Steve. And that's what we have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, we are welcoming a guest to the show. And, okay.
Yeah, do this real quick.
Let me mention this. You got 5 minutes left to enter the word grateful, Grateful. So make sure you do that now. It's the good money it keyword. So get on it. All right, we have a guest here. We have an old friend of the show who is here to promote a charity event that is coming up this weekend. And for many, many years here in Philadelphia, a party band that reigns supreme is called Mr. Green Jeans.
Yes.
And they're getting the band back together. And it's for a good cause. We'd like to welcome John McGee to our show this morning. How you doing, John?
I'm all right. How are you?
Doing good. You know what, John? You're part of one of our finest memories of this radio show.
Right.
When we had a Fat Tuesday party on South Street, and we told you guys that Tiffany was coming that morning for an appearance, and we didn't know if she would be enticed into singing a song or not.
Yeah, it was a crapshoot.
You guys learned, I think we're alone now. We talked her into it. She got up and sang it, and it was
it's great.
So damn
It
cool.
was. It was. She was so cool. I
Yeah.
was surprised how cool. Like I don't know what I thought going into it, honestly, but she was so cool.
Yeah.
And then she wanted to stay, and I think she grabbed our singer Brian and she said, "What else do you know from the '80s?
Yeah.
I want to do another song."
Well, you guys had the backup harmonies. You had all that stuff. When you were singing along and hitting the harmonies with her, she looked around like, "Oh my god!" And the crowd went crazy.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
that was a great memory.
You guys don't have footage of that, do you?
You know, that was probably pre-smartphone, I think.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely pre-smartphone.
I had a Civil War camera with me. That's how far back it was. Yeah, but man, if footage existed of that, it'd be sensational.
Oh, I wish. And you know the song she did after that was "Throwing It All Away" by Genesis, and I remember seeing her and Brian arm in arm like this swinging.
Oh, really? I don't remember that.
Yeah,
Wow,
that was great.
All right. Well, speaking of Brian and the rest of the band, you guys are getting together. There's a gig this Sunday. It's going to be at the Queen in Wilmington.
Yes.
And this is a cancer benefit. And this is near and dear to the band, right?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
me.
What's the story? Yeah.
The story is my brother-in-law John Cotillo has stage 3 colorectal cancer.
Okay.
My sister, who is a practitioner, we had just lost our father to Alzheimer's a year ago Monday. Actually, she was his primary caretaker while he was in decline John was diagnosed. So she was doing this like really kind of miserable juggling act of, here's Alzheimer's and here's cancer. I mean, it was terrible. So and all that going on, basically, they say don't get sick, you could bankrupt you. Well, that's pretty much what happened.
Okay.
It's killed them financially. The bills are just astronomical. You start looking at foreclosure on your home. I have to get rid of a car. All those things. So I had to step in, and I heard my dad's voice in the back of my head just going, "Yo, pal," over the Southwest Philly accent. "Yo, dude, help your sister out, would you?" And I can hear it. Right? So it's like, okay, here we go. Let's buckle up. The guys were great. I contacted them all. Can we get the band back together, literally, and do this thing? And they're like, "Yep, let's do it. Let's raise some money."
Awesome.
And the Queen, we got in touch with them, and here we are.
So you guys, as a band, stopped playing full time back in 2013. You were saying off air, and then every now and then, every once in a while, there's a little get together. You guys will play a gig or something like that. But this is a full on show. Anybody else playing on the bill, or just Green Jeans?
Oh no, I have a lot of great friends in the Wilmington area that I play with on the side here and there, like friends like Joe Daphne, Steve Maselli, two of the guys from Split Decision are going to be there, JT and Ray, Richie D and Chris Veman. So, and my friend Rick Choate, I have to give him a shout. So we have a lot of acoustic duo and solo acts that are going to open up, and then we'll close it out with the big old rock show at the end. So.
That's awesome. What is capacity at the Queen? It's a pretty good sized room, right?
I think they said 700.
700.
700. That's nice.
Yeah.
So in addition to going down to the event, if people want to donate and are just moved to do so, how do they do that?
I believe on the Ticket Spice link, underneath where if you want to get a ticket, right underneath that it says donation.
You can just donate right on the same ticket page. All right, excellent.
I'll make sure Marissa will make sure this information is up. It probably already is, as far as I know. I'm not really sure, but she didn't give me the thumbs up, but she's working on it. MrGreenJeans.ticketspice.com/ Mr. Green Jeans Fight for Cancer. That's it's a bit wordy. We'll get it up on Preston and Steve. .com.
Yeah, on a Green Jeans.
But you guys had a diehard following, so I'm sure that people will rally for old time's sake to come and help out.
God, it was like my college and shore days, like
Mr. Green Jeans.
My roommate sleeping with the cop. Like I think we probably came for a Green Jeans show. Afterwards.
And don't judge. He was to get out of a ticket.
Don't judge us.
What were your regular haunts that you guys would play? Like the rooms that were like always go-tos for Green Jeans?
Oh, well, the craziest one was probably the Paddock in Ocean City, Maryland, which I don't think is a thing anymore. That was the craziest. But, I mean, there were so many great rooms over the years. The Ocean Drive, Jack's Place in Avalon.
God, I remember seeing
Jack's
you guys
Place,
at Ocean Drive. Would you do their Kegs and Eggs event? Did you ever do that?
I think we did do that. I want to say we did. We've pretty much done
everything.
Jack's Place was like, I mean, that was the place to go. I think it was Friday nights was the night to go there. And I remember you guys being there. I mean, like you really felt like the roof was going to cave in. Like it was such a party.
Yeah. My favorite part of that with playing Jack's was that the first set was dead. Well, at least 10:05 was the start. It was weird. And then all of a sudden, 11 o'clock hit, and you couldn't even breathe. I remember.
Well, and it was, sorry, Nick, it was, you had to leave earlier there because it was right next to houses. So it wasn't, I think last call was 1:30, and the other ones, like Princeton, were 2.
Yeah.
But so you had to, it was a short period of time. We would run in and, it was nuts.
I'll tell you, there's some of the best times with that first set, though. The people that were there, the few that were straggled in early to get their spot, we would do goofy stuff. We'd talk to each other on stage, have normal conversation. That was actually a really fun set to play.
I remember reading an article about you guys. It's probably like City Paper or Philly Weekly, 15 years ago. And I was staggered at the geographic range in which you guys would play, because it would be, how far north would you go and how far south would you go?
Well, we used to annually go to Vermont and Killington,
right?
Sometimes twice a season, for a weekend, and that was probably. I don't think we ever got to Maine, but
Vermont.
You
did New England gigs, like Cape Cod, and then and how far south?
We've been down to Florida. We've even been over to California. Chicago. There was a time when a company wanted us to play all their corporate Christmas parties, so they flew us around the country. We got to Anaheim. And
what was your most packed? Because I mean, you guys were constantly working. What was your most packed year?
packed year.
Yeah, where you just couldn't have any breathing room.
Ooh,
were they all like that?
There came a point when they were. I'm blessed to say they were like that often.
Well, good. Yeah,
but we still think fondly of when it was taking off. And we were young kids, and we look out the window of, say, like when it was Brownie's 23s.
Right.
Looking out the window and seeing a line go down the street, and how juiced we would get. At that point, I'm 22 years old. And I'm just like, whoa, this is so cool.
I'm going to be a rock star.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, in the later years, every band goes, up and down it. And then, but there came a point when it was just really consistent, and I got kind of spoiled because it was like, wow. I don't have to worry when I go to a gig tonight. There's going to be people there. I never thought. It's not like now when I go people show up to my acoustic gig.
Yeah.
So,
it's all good though.
Brian's still rocking a mohawk these days.
Yeah, he's got something going on there.
Okay.
He's got I see him most of the time. I see him with hats on. So
okay.
But yeah, he does have. He's got something going on.
I think. Sorry, real quick. I'm. It's coming back to me. I think. That, and I don't think it was you guys, but I jumped on stage with you on my 21st birthday, and I got kicked out of the OG. And I'm pretty sure it was you guys on stage. So sorry about that.
Get this bitch out of here. Who does she think she is? Oh my God.
Well, the only way usually that was because of beer spilled. I don't think.
Right.
The equipment. Yeah. I can't have that.
Also, I don't think I could really actually walk, so that might have also.
Wow. All right. So the event is at the Queen. It's on Sunday. It's for a very, very good cause and very personal thing with John. So they're just, this is your brother-in-law and is obviously your sister, and they're just getting wrecked by bills from this cancer thing. I mean, it's criminal that on top of a potential life-threatening issue, when you are then struggling to make ends meet, it's just it's just the worst. So, but you guys, I'm reading, there's going to be like, 50-50 and raffle, baskets and stuff like that.
Yeah, Brett Hamilton actually was like key in getting me here.
He reached out to me.
I'm very grateful to him. He just jumped in and he's just, come on guys, let's do this. Let's do this.
He said he's going to be there at the event. He's coming out. So if you're a Y100 fan and you want to see Brett Hamilton, or you're a QVC fan.
That's right. He's the tech guy.
Brett Hamilton, because he's going to be there as well. At least that's what he told me anyway. So. All right, so it's 3 to 8 p.m. at the Queen in Wilmington, and this is going to be on Sunday. And details at WMMR.com. Yes, and it says WMMR.com event ribbon. What's the event? What's an event
if you
ribbon?
click on the events.
The tab that says events?
Yeah, if you're on WMR.com, you just scroll down. Everything that says events, scroll in. It's right there.
I didn't know the ribbon term. Fair enough.
You learn some every day.
We try to. All right, John, tell everybody we said hi.
Will do.
Wish you the best, and and thanks for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, John McGee, Mr. Green Jeans, and it's this Sunday at the Queen. Take a break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
There are the 10:30 on this Thursday morning with the Preston and Steve show. Cooler day today. Our high temperature, like 56, 57 degrees. Much cooler, and but an interesting rebound that is going to happen.
Yes.
Tomorrow's sunny and 65. Saturday's 64. Sunday's high, 81 degrees. Oh, but wait, there's more. Monday's high is 89, possibly 90 degrees.
Insane.
And then Tuesday, I think it's mid-80s, and I think it kind of levels off after that. But we have a massive herpes-like flare-up that's going to happen
with pus
on Monday to 90 degrees, which is just crazy. That's almost a little too toasty for.
I'm playing golf on Monday.
On Monday?
Yeah, it's the Drive for Autism on Monday.
Drive for Autism is on Monday. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rethink my outfit. I had a little.
Because you had long pants planned, right?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with knickerbockers.
Okay, so those just come up to your kind of calf, right?
Is that acceptable at the course as it is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Payne Stewart, one of the all-time greats, wore knickers all the time.
Okay.
And in fact, but he would wear long socks, so it wasn't like he had skin showing or anything like that. He had this
disgusting skin.
He had a real classic look about him. He'd wear like almost like a Jeff Cap type of thing.
Yeah.
And so that look would work on you. Yeah, here's a picture of Payne Stewart right there. So very
classic,
very stylish on the golf course. Before we do anything, I need to go to the phones. We're going to our Xfinity mobile guest line, and we go to... Hi, is your name Janine?
It is. Hi, Presbo. How are you?
I'm awesome. Janine, you sound happy. Why is that?
I am. I'm so happy. I just won $1,000.
And it's just that simple.
I legitimately, I don't know what to think. I'm still shaking, and I'm so happy. Thank
That
you
is
guys
awesome.
so much.
We're excited for you, without question. Where are you from, Janine?
I'm from Drexel Hill, Delco, representing.
Absolutely. We're getting a lot of Delco winners, which is fantastic. Excellent. Are you at home or at work today, Janine?
I'm at work. I'm at work.
What do you do for a living?
I'm in compliance and operations. for an
Okay.
investment company.
Compliance and operations. You
will submit.
Yes, you will. You give in. Well, we are happy to give you $1,000 with Good Money Yet. So congratulations.
No, it's great. And thank you guys so much. That is just, it's awesome. It really is. I'm
Well-
going on vacation, and it can't come at a better time. And yeah, awesome.
That's
perfect.
Awesome.
We're so happy for you. All right, congratulations, Janine. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it, Janine. Oh, yeah. Excellent. So, love that. The next keyword is going to be coming up at noon, and Pierre's going to have it for you. In the meantime, let's give something else away. We have a lesson question, and we're going to give away a $50 Manhattan Bagel gift card. And the question we will ask you this morning is... Club Goth was located 1/2 mile from which fast food joint? 215-263 WMMR. Do you know? Where are you listening? Let's find out. Call right now if you know the answer to that. Club Goth was located 1/2 mile from which fast food joint? It was mentioned on the show. If you happen to know, give us a call. We'll do the trash while we wait for your call.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Horizon Services. Dust, pollen, dander, they're in the air, and Horizon Services can help avoid costly breakdowns and clear away allergens. Schedule an AC tune-up now, and they will also schedule a free fall tune-up. So book at horizonservices.com/WMMR. What's up this morning, Steve?
Well, Delta Burke, get this, revealing she once was so desperate to drop weight during her heyday that she actually used crystal meth as an appetite suppressant. Oh. Yeah, Burke says she did not lose any weight, but did end up making out with a raccoon.
Oh.
So there you go. Michael Jackson's infamous Neverland theme park has been restored for a new biopic about the late singer's life. Consultants on the recreation say it's so accurate they can almost hear Michael Jackson whispering, "Don't tell your parents."
Oh, my God.
And finally, Kanye West has started a new business venture that will produce porn movies. Kanye says he is still a man of God, but also wants to be a man of, oh, God. That's Hollywood Trash.
All right, let's see if you were listening and you know the answer to this. Club Goth is located 1/2 mile from which fast food joint? 215-263 WMMR. First caller in is Jeff, so we'll go to him. Hi there, Jeff.
Lame ass trivia.
Oh, my wow. Okay, for those who don't know, that goes back to Y100. All right, Club Goth was located 1/2 mile from what fast food joint, bud?
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
You got it. Hang on, Jeff. And we are going to give you a $50 Manhattan Bagel gift card. And you can try the new French toast egg sandwich, a French toast gourmet bagel, fresh cracked egg, sausage, bacon, cheddar, honey almond, cream cheese, and a drizzle of syrup. You can get 20% off of your first online order at manhattanbagel.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you by Monster Jam, the only place to see the legendary Gravedigger tear up the dirt. You can see racing, big air, and backflips when Monster Jam roars into Lincoln Financial Field, and that will be May 4th. So, Motley Crue is releasing their brand new song. It's called Dogs of War tomorrow. There's a Pink Floyd song called Dogs of War.
Yes, there is. It's on the Animals album, is it not? Or no, maybe it's not. It's on Momentary Lapse of Reason?
I think that's the album it was on, or Division Bell, one of those two. So, yeah, it is the first new music from the band since their 2019 collaboration with Machine Gun Kelly.
This is Pink Floyd, by the way.
Okay, it's also their first recording with new guitarist John Five, who, of course, replaced Mick Mars. Frontman Vince Neil says the track blends old school meets new school and was produced by longtime crew collaborator Bob Rock, who the band says they love working with. The accompanying
Big dogs running, big dogs out.
music video is an animated, apocalyptic CGI affair directed by Nick Denbor. Meanwhile, the band has signed a new deal with Big Machine Records to release the new song and future music, while the catalog remains with BMG. Crew is also planning to release more new music next year, with bassist Nikki Sixx constantly coming up with new material, by the way. So, what album was it from, Nick?
Yeah, it was a Momentary Lapse of Reason.
Momentary Lapse of
It's a
Reason.
great record.
Dogs of War.
Yeah, the no Gilmore on that, right? Or no
Waters.
Waters, yeah. And obviously
great album.
that is a great album.
Yep.
And I know it divided Floyd fans, but hell,
it was my introduction to the band.
Yeah.
And so I really loved the record, but I didn't know Pink Floyd because I was only 12 or whatever when that came out. I didn't know Pink Floyd with Roger Waters.
Right.
And then I dove back in, and I know this story's about Motley Crue.
It is about Motley Crue. So,
but the great thing about Motley Crue is they remind you of the much better Pink Floyd. And I enjoy Motley Crue, but come on.
Rock legend Sammy.
We know we're not Pink Floyd, and we're sorry. But if you check out Momentary Lapse of Reason, it's a great album.
Rock legend Sammy Hagar is being honored with a star on the iconic Hollywood Walk of Fame, becoming the 2,779th star to grace the sidewalk. The ceremony is set for Tuesday, with Sammy's celebrity friend Guy Fieri serving as the MC, along with fellow musician John Mayer and Hagar's longtime friend Tom Consolo.
How difficult do you think it would be to just drop your own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame? You got to do it in the middle of the night. It's not like you can get it done at 3 p.m.
People have done it.
Have they?
Yeah, they get like a sticker or some sort of application. They're eventually discovered,
right?
But it's not as hard as you might think.
Hagar, of course known as the Red Rocker, began his illustrious music career as the frontman of the 1970s hard rock band Montrose, before embarking on a successful solo career, and then later joining the iconic Van Halen, helping pen hits like Why Can't This Be Love, Right Now, and others. In more recent years, Hagar has remained active with his solo band The Circle and the supergroup Chickenfoot, while also launching several liquor brands like Cabo Wabo, Tequila, and Santos Spirits. He's currently preparing for his Best of All Worlds tour, where he'll perform a Van Halen heavy set with an all-star backing band of Michael Anthony, Joe Satriani, and drummer Jason Bonham, and that kicks off in July.
That seems interesting. That music is often overlooked.
Well, and I think they're also going to do some Dave songs from the Van Halen category, because it's mainly a love letter to Eddie, and you have Joe Satriani, who is more than capable of,
Let me tell you about
playing
that cat.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Thank you.
He really knows how to play guitar.
This cat really knows how to play guitar.
Watch out for him.
What am I talking about? I am talking about the need to eat pizza.
Pizza. Megadeth has announced a 33-show U.S. fall Destroy All Enemies tour that will feature support from Mudvayne and All That Remains.
That's the latest news. Let's get on to the latest rock.
With the road party set to kick off on August 2nd in Rogers, Arkansas. The Live Nation-produced tour will see Megadeth frontman Dave Mustaine and the band playing classics from beloved albums like Rust in Peace and Countdown to Extinction, as well as tracks from their most recent studio LP, The Sick, The Dying, and The Dead. They will be playing in our area in Reading at the Santander Arena on September 9th, by the way, and tickets go on sale tomorrow, by the way. All right, and then one last story. A previously lost 12-string acoustic guitar that belonged to John Lennon will go up for sale at auction in May after it was recently found in the attic of a home in Britain. The auctioneer said that John played the guitar, which is expected to exceed its estimate of $600,000 to $800,000.
There's my freaking guitar.
So he played it on the 1965 album Help.
Wow.
The guitar was lying in an attic and was rediscovered by the current owners during a house move.
How do you not know you have a John Lennon 12-string guitar?
I'll give you a little bit of story about it. The founders of Julian's Auction said they traveled to Britain to verify the guitar and found the original case, a Maton Australian-made guitar case, in the trash.
What?
Martin Nolan of Julian's said the owners knew that they had the instrument at one point, but they thought that it had been lost. The guitar is believed to have ended up in their hands through British musician Gordon Waller, who was a member of the pop group Peter and Gordon. And apparently, Gordon was gifted it from John Lennon. Then Gordon gifted it to his road manager, and that's where the guitar stayed for all these years. It will be auctioned on May 29th at the Hard Rock Cafe in New York and on the auctioneer's website. Now, earlier this year, a stolen Hofner bass guitar belonging to Paul McCartney was found, and he must have been enraged.
Where's my bass? What? I had one job. Keep an eye on it. I'm going to kill you.
Whoa.
You shut up.
Okay.
So temperamental.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to protect you when you say you're going to kill someone.
Shut up.
Okay. All right.
He's going to lean on my back about the vegetarian crap.
I know you're not.
I'm dying for a T-bone steak.
That was the source of all of his
If
angst.
he just had, God,
Being forced to be a vegetarian.
I got to tell you, I was out of line.
Yeah. Oh.
I just had the most wonderful T-bone steak.
Yeah.
Now everything's reset.
Now he's calmed down.
So much better.
He's the Paul that we know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Paul's, his Hofner bass was stolen.
Let's go to Ruth's Chris.
It was
just doing a steak tour now.
Absolutely. I just ate the Big Mo. It's a 6-pound steak.
You know what you would love, Paul?
The old 96er.
Nebraska.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Just keep it coming.
It's unlimited.
I want to see it killed in front of me. Let me kill it.
Here you go. Here's a gun.
Absolutely. Yeah, I got one of these. Yeah, there we go. Tastes great. Sushi cow.
So that bass was found and returned to Paul after 51 years following a global hunt.
So, what do you think? I'm sorry, if you mentioned this, the price?
$600,000 to $800,000. They think it will exceed that.
Right?
Help was a great album. And yeah, to have the guitar that was played on that album, that'd be pretty special.
And of course, the original title.
Oh, I don't know.
Is it 8 Arms to Hold You?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
8 Arms to Hold You.
I think that's what it was, Nick.
Quite possibly.
Ask you to check that out. I thought, of course, I could be wrong. In fact, I'm going to bet on me being wrong.
No, you're probably right. You're usually good with stuff like that. The Beatles song that never was, 8 Arms to Hold You. Song recorded for the soundtrack of the film The Goonies. What?
What?
That's what it
It's
says.
a great movie. And one of the
title?
kids has a kind of grappling device that's actually jumping teeth.
Oh, Pinches of Power.
It's absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's a whole scene with oh my God, Yoko's here. Just give her a baby Ruth.
Throw her a baby Ruth. Nick is pulling that up, and if we come to any official conclusion,
I'm going to bet on Steve being right.
I wouldn't be. So I thank you for it, but that's it. That's 8 arms to hold you.
to hold her down.
It's like a scene from Scanners, too.
That's when her head explodes.
Yeah.
Aha!
What?
We got it.
Eureka, as Socrates might say. The working title of Help was 8 Arms to Hold You.
There you go.
There you go.
So I had to reverse engineer it, Steve, and I had to go
Thank
back
you.
to Help instead of 8 Arms to Hold You. But yeah, that was the working title, and that song debuted in November of 1965.
I was in Eureka, the village of Eureka, yesterday, as a matter of fact.
In California?
No.
Oh.
In, like, Bucks or Montgomery
We
County.
have a Eureka in Bucks County?
Listen, I was I headed up to Doylestown, and I believe I entered the village of Eureka before I got to Doylestown. So Eureka is south of Doylestown. Yeah, I was there yesterday. Seen the sign and everything.
Okay. You seen the sign and everything?
I've seen the sign and everything. It says, welcome to the Village of Eureka.
All right. Well, I'm glad we learned that. We have to take a break.
That is so interesting. Shut up.
We have to take a break because it's going to be 11 o'clock by the time we're done. And Pierre's got to get in here, and he's got business to take care of. So we'll take a break, come back in a second, wrap it up. Stay with us. Kryptonite, 3 Doors Down on 93.3 WMMR. It's Everything Rocks. Preston and Steve show. It is creeping up on 11 a.m. We have had a full day today, so we're dragging on a tad bit, but about ready to wrap the program up. Had a number of people stop by today. Gave away a number of things, including some cash, and there's more chances for you to win coming up in just a little while. But I would like to thank Adam Hutter from the World Oddities Expo, which is coming to Philadelphia this weekend, and it will be at the Pennsylvania Convention Center, and brought all kinds of interesting things.
And his store has officially opened, correct?
Yeah, the End of Times Boutique is what that was called. Right. So, yeah, he's busy doing that. So it was cool to have him swing by today. Our buddy Craig Lagans came by this morning. Very cool autism event that's at White Marsh Plymouth High School this weekend, 1 to 3. Stop by around noon if you want to get signed up. But it's a variety show, and you can participate. And anybody on the spectrum or not can be a part of this whole thing.
Just show up.
Raising some money, and it's a really, really good cause. And we have the information at PrestonandSteve.com. And then thank you to John McGee. Mr. Green Jeans came by. And his brother-in-law is facing some serious financial hardship because of a serious cancer diagnosis. So they are having a benefit show. Green Jeans is getting back together. They were an insanely popular party band here in Philadelphia for the longest time. And it's going to be at the Queen in Wilmington, and members of Split Decision will be there and a bunch of others as well. So 3 to 8 p.m. We have a link on PrestonandSteve.com as well under the event section for you to be able to go and participate in that. So if you've seen Green Jeans through the years, they brought you some pleasure and some fun, then return the favor if you can. That would be great. Pierre's here. Hey, man.
I think that they used to do the theme to Action News as part of their set.
No, that was...
That was not.
Well, as part of their set.
As part of their set. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just as a joke. Right in between,
But there was a local band wrote it.
No, it wasn't that.
No.
This was just one of the party bands that were out there used to do that in their set. And I remember hosting them at this club called Maui down on Delaware Avenue, which is as close to Maui as 3 Mile Island is. But they had lovely pavement, and then they painted it green and put up fake palm trees and called it Maui. I just felt every time like I was there, like I was in Maui.
Maui smells like stale beer.
It smells like the Delaware River. Corpses are floating by, but they had a lovely deck that looked out on it. It was perfect.
I used to like to watch the fights that broke out of Maui. That was kind of fun.
Yes.
Because I had the microphone, and I would say, security to the dance floor. And watch the bouncers drag people out by their feet. It was fun.
Those were the days.
Yeah, they were. Yes, they were. So I guess we're moving into your territory. How would you like to do the letter of the day? Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right, let's go for it. Here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
And the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter...
L as in lovely.
All right, beautiful. And a lovely day indeed. It would be if you get a pair of tickets and a hotel room for the night is MMR Rock's Motley Crue. It is Saturday, May 4th at Hard Rock Live at Edis Arena in Atlantic City. Plus passes to join Jackie Bam Bam for a meet and greet with Motley Crue. Jackie's hosting a pre-party that night as well, Hard Rock AC. And he'll be giving away a signed guitar and drum head, and tickets are on sale now for both Crue shows, which are May 3rd and 4th. And that's through Ticketmaster, so get them now. We'll give away that prize tomorrow. What's up on your show today?
Good money opportunities at noon, 3 and 5 p.m. still to come today. And more tickets for the Black Crowes and their sound check at the Met in a couple of weeks. And workforce blocks will be cool. We've got Hailstorm, we've got Papa Roach, and since it's Bring Your Kids to Work Day and Pancake brought his, we're going to have a block of kids songs, a thematic block coming up in the workforce blocks. And I just want to mention one time quickly that on Monday, which is the radio station's 56th birthday, We will, the minute you guys end, my entire program will be all songs from the vaults of the MM Archives.
That's terrific.
So just as a cool way of picking an element, just an aspect of this station's rich history. And a lot of them, we were looking through, a lot of them are on your program. Some of the bands I don't even remember because they kind of came along and disappeared. But a lot of heavyweights you've had on your program alone. Cage the Elephant's first visit to MMR was on your program, and they sang
Ain't No Rest for the Wicked?
Yeah, Ain't No Rest for the Wicked. And then the Struts' first visit was to your show, and it could have been me, and they changed the lyrics to, I was just thinking about Preston and Steve telling me, and they put your blanking names in the song. I'm going, wow, that's so cool.
That was cool.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so a lot of it, it'll be all mixed up. I mean, we've got everything from 1974, Jackson Brown at the main point to, last week, Chris Daughtry on your show and all kinds of stuff. So it's going to be fun.
That will be fun. All right. Thank you, Pierre. And I'll take a moment to thank our sponsors, Preston and Steve Show, brought to you today by Dunkin'. The Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors, and by Monster Jam. Monster Jam roars into Lincoln Financial Field Saturday, May 4th. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Tomorrow, no sad bro, Friday, right?
Yes.
And we will have from Mighty Mighty Bosstones, Dickie Barrett in our studio. And our fine friends Froggy are stopping by tomorrow because they've got a new record out.
Cool.
So we'll spend some time with those guys. Looking forward to it.
Frogsters.
That is it. We are done. Ray John, have yourself a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.